it says we're live. But it never comes up on my phone that we're live. But then if you watch the video back, it starts at this point. Yeah. So can you imagine watching the start of the lives going, nothing's happening.
Off guard, isn't it?
It's like, well, it's StreamYard. StreamYard's just getting a bit shocking with its delay times. And especially with comments coming up. Oh, I have to watch it on my phone. Well, you know yourself, don't you? Because you do tons of
yeah. It should be due an update, shouldn't it? Really?
Massively.
6 months since
Can you all see us and hear us and all the rest of it?
No.
Because nothing is coming up on my phone to say that we're live. Ah, now we are. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, it's just my phone. It's my phone, my end. The laptop is plugged in with a wire, and then the phone is obviously wireless. So just give us a couple of seconds while we wait for this. Get it on. There we go.
Very good.
All live. It could be a nightmare. It can be an absolute nightmare, StreamYard. Hello, everybody in chat. Thank you so much for popping in this evening. Really, really do appreciate you all. If one of the moderators could periodically drop Impossible Inverts Facebook page and YouTube channel and TikTok into the comments, that would be absolutely awesome. There's also an Impossible Inverts Facebook group, which is just as awesome. So please make sure you hit those up. And going off the last time Gavin was here, a lot of you was on about the creations he makes, his artwork, and how to get hold of them. The Facebook page is where you need to go.
I also have I had some pieces available this weekend, but the idea is that I will have a few pieces available at the shows as well. So I'll be at Brighton on Sunday.
Oh, what are you taking to Brighton?
I have a few things with me as well.
What are you taking to Brighton? Have you got them to hand, or are they with Mitch?
No, I've got stuff here. I've just finished a couple of pieces on it. A couple of them.
While Gavin disappears, I view Gavin as being one of the hobbies, like literal top secrets. He's very, very quiet, but what he does is absolutely amazing. Nearly as cool as his dungarees.
I love my dungarees. So I think I might have showed this before, and it was just flat before.
Oh, hold on. Dale's been a member for 20 months. Nice. He said 500 likes and Scott will shave his beard off. I won't shave my beard off for any amount of likes, to be honest. There's Ellie's head. And there is Gav. How long does that take you to make, Gav? I mean, I wouldn't know where to start, for instance, let alone even have the tools. But
I start. I don't know if I've got any. My actual book that I draw stuff in is actually in the garage, but I'll start with a basic layout like that. So I'll look at pictures. If it's Mantis, I go to Mitch and I look at Mitch's pictures and I work from them. Or Google. I make a simple drawing like this that I can map out on the wood, and then I just get to it, carve it out. So
how do you map it out on the wood? Do you literally just cut the pieces out and then place it on the timber?
Yeah, so like obviously you take away all the legs, so you're just working on the body, the head separate as well. I'll get a rough shape and then lay down masking tape on it, and then I'll draw it back out and then just carve bit by bit. But this piece, this drawing,
Oh,
Is
and
that-
that's what it turned into.
and that's what it turned into.
Is that going to Brighton with you?
It will be.
How much are you selling that for?
This will be going for possibly 30.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that really just 30 quid?
Yeah.
Wow, that is cheap.
So, I've just got to put on it, little metal plaques on the front, copper plaque, with the scientific name of the insect or mantis or whatever it is that I do at the time. I've got one with a plaque on it. And
Oh, you mean yourself and Ellie, both artists, and you're both underpriced yourselves because the time and the effort it takes to make them. I don't think a lot of us kind of understand that process. Also, the thought process of the time it takes you to look at something and go, well, I'm going to need to now put that onto paper, or I need to transfer it into a sculpture. That process must take a long time.
it can sometimes take a little bit of adjusting to try and get your head around the shape, because if you just did like the front of it, that front has got to lead to the sides resembling something as well. So you have to constantly be trying to work out how it'd look finished, so to speak. So I struggle sometimes when it comes to things like skulls, being able to see it from the flat drawing to start with and try and carve it from there. It takes a lot for me to get my head around.
I suppose when it's flat on a piece of paper, to bring it up into a sculpture, I can't see how it's done. Mentally, I'm just like, how
Sometimes you just have to just slowly carve a bit off at a time, and then just step back, have a look, see how it's shaping. You don't want to take too much off because you can't put it back on, can you?
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you're doing a drawing, you can just, a lot of the time you can touch up where your mistakes are.
With the timber, can you? I suppose if you put a hole in the wrong place, you can use a wood filler and the sawdust.
Yeah, small things like that. But I started carving a beetle. This one of the annoying things about wood is you can't see inside it. So I started carving out this beetle, and I got quite a way through doing its body and everything, and then there was just a whopping crack right through the middle of it, and I was just like, I spent all this time just to find a big crack in the middle of wood.
Did you not fill it in?
No, it's just on side.
Just fill it in.
I have thought about it, because I thought about maybe like if I filled it in with like glow in the dark acrylic or something.
That could be cool. Very cool. Cheers, Craig. Craig's just put Gavin's YouTube link in. Craig, if you put his Facebook page in there as well, please, mate. It would be very appreciative.
How are you doing? So
away there.
You've got the old Rona.
Sophie, it's been day 3 now, day 4, I think, for her. She weren't very well before getting it either, which is literally typical. Gav, get some resin, says Steve W. If you've got questions for Gavin, drop them into the comments, and I'll kind of put them to Gavin as and when they come up. You've done a bit of breeding as well, haven't you, Sunshine?
Yeah. Recent one, the one that's actually just gone available is the Panés, which I'm super proud of.
How many of those have you got?
I think in total there was 178.
Yeah, you did well.
Yeah, well, obviously it's a dwarf species, and the egg sac were really small. But then I just thought, well, the slings are going to be really small as well.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, they're not. We've got some fresh Nando Chromata slings at Mitch's. He got off I think it was Becky Telfer. And they are like half the size of the Panniers.
Wow. See, because
Exactly.
every time I've paired up my Pentaloris and I'm thinking, when you guys are slings, it's going to be the difficult part is going to be feeding yours because you're going to be so small. But were they the ones that are on your TikTok?
Yeah.
Got ya. Because that little design that you had for the cup was awesome.
Yeah.
It just looks a lot more robust than using like the thin plastic cups that most people use. And
they're great. I mean, I've done a few pairings now, and it's the method that I've used. But you can get these from like Morrison's and places like that, and they're designed for like so that you can keep like food separate when you go into work or whatever.
yeah,
And I just cut the bottom out of it. Bit of tight material to go over it. Plonk it back in. I put like maybe an inch of room temperature water. You don't want to be putting too cold water in to start with. Put lid back on and leave them to it.
any other breeding projects or any other breeding plans?
I've got a couple of teas that are paired that I'm waiting for them to drop egg sacs. I've got a Pentaloris that I've paired, and I've just been waiting for months now for it to drop.
Mine's just got fat, and that's it.
Yeah.
And she's just literally sitting there like, what?
Yeah. That's what she's like.
I'm going to try drenching her and see if that helps.
Well,
it's going to go one or two ways, isn't it? It's either going to be egg sac or she molts.
Yeah. Funny enough, I give her a good spray down tonight. But I keep her outside with tea towel over the top of it as well, you know, to try and keep it in darkness. She's not having any of it.
Still nothing.
No.
Oh, cheers, Sophie. Impossible Inverts as a creative mind. Durgeon, extremely so. Extremely. Probably one of the most modest guys in the hobby as well. Definitely, I would say the biggest hidden gem in the hobby is Gavin. Very quiet man. Very beautiful soul. Hi, Jeremy.
Yep, Jeremy.
How's it going with Mitch?
Yeah, great. Yeah. Brilliant.
Got any more live streams planned or?
He's got his fundraiser coming up. For any of you that were around last year, he had a full Christmas fundraiser with prizes given away every single day. Basically, you buy your tickets. They're like £5 a ticket, and your name goes into the draw, but your name stays in the draw until it's actually taken out. So you've got a chance of winning across those. It'll be 25 days because it goes right up to Christmas Day.
That's awesome. I know. Yeah, Sophie says she's donated to it. So have I actually, as it goes. Spar Spiders as well.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Last year there were quite a few people that had donated, and it gathered more and more speed towards the end. But this year, it's insane the amount of people that have donated. But it's for a really good cause as well, though. It's something for obviously a lot of people's hearts.
Autism charity, isn't it?
Yeah.
He said to me, and he was like, he literally, I think he just sent me the generic kind of message, and I was like, mate, you said the magic words: raffle, charity, autism. It's like, yeah, definitely. Greg says he's putting into it as well. Is that all on Mitch's channel, or is it on Facebook, or
it'll be on? Obviously, there'll be all the updates and posts leading up to it on Mitch's group and his page, because he has an Unseen Universe group, and then there's an Unseen Universe, obviously, business page. So there'll be updates across those, as well as on his personal account as well. But all the actual live draw and everything will be on YouTube, on Mitch's channel. Unseen Universe.
Have you put anything into it?
Yeah, I put some part, and then I'm going to create a couple of things. So I'll put them in. I may even put another one of the guitar things in as well, just because I did last year.
Is that one the one you did for Adam, like one of those guitars?
Yeah. But it was just a simpler version. It only had 2 strings. It was just a bit of a novelty thing. But I'd painted it up with like a space scene going around it. But it were in the shape of a flying V as well.
Have you done your logo in woodwork yet?
No.
That would be
No,
like an embossed kind of raised off the piece. That would be something else, Gavin. That would.
Yeah. I want to do it with as well, because I think that'd be really good as a relief with the mantis head.
The what? Sorry. With
his mantis head on his logo. Oh, yeah. I think that'd look really good.
Have people not come forward to you yet and asked, like, can you do my logo on timber? Could you raise it or sink it? And
I did think. I don't know if you've seen for Adam's missus, Barbarian. She's got her own on Instagram. It's Let's Grow Home, and she grows all her own like produce and stuff. But she wanted a trug, like the little gardening basket type things that they have. So I made one. But he wanted logo doing outside of it as well. So I'll put her logo onto it, actually carved in wood.
I think I've seen, was it a TikTok or on your Instagram where you did a little video? I think you were building it, you were halfway through it.
Possibly. I think I uploaded some of the pictures in like a sequence. But also on Instagram, I shared a really, really small glimpse of the logo that I did, where it's just green, which is like cabbages and stuff that's in the background. I quite enjoyed doing it.
Do you do commissions?
Yeah. I've just been commissioned to do 2 mantis heads. The Stenophila, the dragon mantis. Yeah, I've been asked to do male and female heads. So that would be my first commission as such for a proper customer, if you like, because Adam, although he paid, but obviously
he's a very close friend as well, isn't he?
Whereas it was somebody that came to me at one of the shows, seen the ghost heads that I had, and then asked, would I possibly do a commission? And I said, well, look me up, and they messaged me. And by the time I got home that night, I had a message asking. So they're actually on the bench in the garage, ready to be carved out.
Have you got that mantis head that you had last time? I think say green and yellow. They're all bloody green and yellow, aren't they?
The green and brown one, the ghost pair.
It was just the head. It was probably about that type of style.
Yeah, just like a bust.
Hey, Jamie.
I've sold them. They've gone to Liam at Mantis Den. And I've got a couple of things lined up for Jeremy as well that he's asked me about, because he was really interested in those ghosts, but obviously they'd gone, and then I was like, well, I can make you some more, or if there's something specific that you want, I'll make that.
Jackson says Impossible Inverts is definitely an underrated channel. Jackson, like I said earlier, Gavin is like He's the biggest hidden gem of the hobby and needs so much more attention. It's unbelievable. Definitely deserves thousands upon thousands of subscribers. And his artwork definitely needs more attention. So if you are at Brighton, if you head over to Mitch's stand, I take it you're going to be with Mitch again on Sunday.
I will be with Mitch, yeah.
Yeah.
And I will be happy to talk to anybody.
How do you think? Because Mitch and yourself were kind of one of the original kind of Mantis breeder shops, and now there's a few others that have come out. Have you noticed more of an interest in Mantis and people kind of still having their tarantulas, obviously, but then looking at Mantis as well as just see that side of it increasing, or?
Yeah, it's strange, the Mantis world, because it goes through quite regular trends. Like obviously, in the tarantula world, there is those trends that come. You get a new species, or a relatively rare species that comes, but then it goes quiet for a couple of years because obviously it takes a lot longer for things to grow. But with the Mantis world, it just goes up and down all the time. So sometimes it's down to who's got the new fancy species that's trending at the moment, or you get a lot of those that just want to go for the simpler ones, and you can go to places like Mantis Den and Mitch that'll have your basic ghosts, Herodulas, and so on. So it's a bit funny, is the Mantis world.
So, I mean, when we dealt with, years ago, we used to do a lot of fish breeding and stuff like that. And I know it's different, but it's the same. Trust me, it's the same. It's similar. In the summer, nobody's as interested in buying stuff because they're always out and about. In the winter, in the colder months, everybody's in home, so you want something new in home, or you want a new invert, and you want a new spider. That's what I noticed when I was breeding and selling the fish. Come the winter months, you'd sell tons. And then come the summer months, it slow back down again. Is it similar in the invert kind of selling side, or? Still ID?
No, I don't think it. Not really. There's a definite difference between the shows when it comes to buying Mantis. Not as many people are buying the Mantis at the shows. There seems to be more people buying them online, which is strange. But I've noticed that over the last few shows. But
does Mitch lower his prices for the shows?
No, they're pretty much same. He don't need to, because
I know he's cheap anyway.
Like they're at the price that they should be. You know what I mean? But he's always open to, like, if you buy multiples at the shows, he'll do deals and stuff with you. He's a businessman at the end of the day.
I thought anybody interested in Mantis would go to a show and literally buy them there and then, because they're not being transported and you've not got to pay for postage and packaging.
Yeah, it makes more sense to get stuff at the shows.
It does, yeah. It really, really does.
And you can understand why you see people walking around, like, literally with their arms full of, like, mystery box from Creatures from the North, mystery box from Spider Shop, bags hanging off of every finger. You understand why people are walking around like that, because how much have you saved there in postage from all these different places? Like 10 quid plus each time.
It's not just that. Mystery boxes at the shows are always better than buying them online, because they always do something extra.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me, Holmesu. Sounds good to me. I can't see me getting many more mystery boxes, to be honest. Just purely because the slings. I want a bit bigger than that, bigger size really now. I've got enough slings. I'll say that, and then I'll end up getting one. As everybody knows.
Last one I had was a Creatures from the North one. I won. You did the draw, didn't you?
Yeah.
It were Steve's giveaway.
Yeah, Steve's autism one.
Yeah.
I think.
And I picked that up at the show, and he just made a bag up there and then. But I was well impressed with what I'd got.
I can remember going to one show. This is before YouTube, and Lee was stood at the spider shop. It was towards the end. I was like, "Mate, you got any £60 mystery boxes left?" I mean, I knew him obviously, and he went, "No." He says, "But I can make you one up there." And I went, "Oh yeah, go on then." And he went, "Well, then you're not supposed to know what's in it till you get home." I was like, "Yeah, okay." And he did me this bag, and it was awesome.
Mitch will do them at the show. She's got. You approach him at the show and then say it's a mystery bag. He just makes up a mystery bag. He'll make you a mystery bag up.
Holmes has got a mature male Somali available for anybody that wants to send him slings in return. And I've just missed Mark's comment, which is, "Hi Mark, hi Victoria. Every unboxing I've seen of Mitch's mystery boxes have been insane, the amount he puts in." Scroll back down to the bottom of the comments so we can see where we're at. Are you going to the Brighton show, Ellie?
No.
Just too far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice drive.
It is a good trek. It's a special. Well, for you, it must be, 6 hours?
5, I think it is. We're going down the day before.
Oh,
I think we're stopping like 20 minutes away from the actual venue.
Hi, Aaron. Luke says, "Hello, Smelly Ellie."
Don't want to push me, dude. I'll kick you up your ass.
Close to 2 hours for the home zoo. I think it's 3 hours from Coventry. Not too bad from here, really.
I was surprised how close Coventry were, actually. Because I think it was 2 hours it took us to get to Coventry.
The Coventry show took me 10 minutes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I am very, very lucky because obviously got the Coventry show and BTS are dead close. So I am in no position to complain about driving to the other ones,
Like Claire, 30 minutes from Brighton, she is.
I think Clayton was saying, Bugnut, it looks like it's close, and it is via the, if a crow's flight, it is about half an hour to an hour away from him. But he said because of the roads and the traffic, it takes him 2.5 hours. And I was like, wow. Not too bad. I've got to sit in a car with you and Chris for 3 hours. It does make the car journeys go quick, I tell you. Are you and Mitch going to do a live stream from the show as well?
Not sure. We always intend to, and then we just don't get a chance. Like Mitchell usually set up a load of things beforehand, and it just doesn't go to plan. You get that little slump, and it goes quiet. And you think, right, got 5 minutes just to catch up here, and then next thing, another wave of people come, so you don't get a chance to do the lives.
Rona, are you going to Brighton, Scott? I'm hoping to. Just finances dependent. I probably won't be buying anything there, so I'll be going for the social. But the social side of the shows is flipping excellent. Okay, yeah, people are selling stuff everywhere, but the social side, when you're walking around chatting to everybody, is another level. Meeting up with everybody as well, all over the country, is phenomenal as well. Like,
it's that catching up with people as well, because like with you and Steve, like I've known you for 5+ years now, And then like the first time you get to meet like these people that you've known that long,
Yeah.
it's like the feeling was so crazy. I mean, I was talking to Claire about it yesterday, I think it was, and it's like you've known them forever, and actually, you know, like you've met them multiple times beforehand, but you aren't. It's like the first time you're meeting them. It's just crazy.
It's Adam, the Invertebrarian. I couldn't get up to the Scottish show, and I was gutted because, you know, it's strange, isn't it? And everybody in chat's going to relate to this because we've all got friends online, and then you've got acquaintances online, and your friends online are your friends, and that's it. And everybody in chat and everybody in the WhatsApp group, yourself, Ellie, and all the rest of it. And you know, you chat about stuff to each other and all the rest of it, and then when you actually meet up, it's like, oh my god, you're here. You're actually here.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you, Holmeso. Holmeso says thanks for being a good mate, Scott. To all of us, and he put 449 on the chat. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Rona Exotics has a stand.
Yeah, it's her first time, so she's really excited. So I just says to her to just enjoy it.
Can you remember your first show as a seller, as a trader? Sorry.
Yeah, that was my first show.
Which one?
My first show all round, like my first show that I'd been to, as well as first time trading.
Which show was that one?
That was one of the IHS shows. Basically, when I got asked to come and help Mitch, that was my introduction to invert shows. And
so that first Donington show where you come up and squeeze my ass, that was your very first show?
No, I'd been to a couple before that one, but it was the IHS one though.
Scott, do you grow any hair above your chin? Nah, this bit is just bald, mate. It's got bits of hair, but nothing much.
I think that was the April one. That one, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah, because there was two shows, weren't there? There was an entomological show and the Donny show, and me, Chris, and Lewis just did them both in the same day.
Yes.
And the entomological show, we were all like, shouldn't have really bothered with that one because it was just like, it was good. We got a couple of good bargains. I think that's where Chris got his rosé from quite cheap. I can't remember what Lewis got, if he got anything cheap from there or not. But the IHS was pretty cool. Arona says, I am Claire, the Claire Gav mentions. I mod for Mitch. People think I'm called Arona. Well, yeah, that's what Arona Exotics. People are going to refer to you as Arona. But hi, Claire. Lewis says, poor Terry. Gemma says, nice to meet you. If somebody could drop Arona Exotics, one of the moderators' Facebook page, into the comments as well as, we're all about supporting new businesses and the smaller businesses. That would be absolutely awesome. And pop over and drop her a quick follow on Facebook.
Claire's the one for jumping spiders.
Yes.
And she also had, I'm not sure if she has them available. She might have eggs available. But she also has like leaf insects. Is it Philium? That's what I really call them.
The literally ones that look like a green leaf.
Yeah.
What's a common name for them? Is it jungle nymphs? Jungle leaf?
No. Just think they're leaf insects. Did you just call them leaf insects?
Leaf insects.
Yeah.
Yeah, AA. People refer to me as AA, and that's easier because there's a lot of Marks around. To be fair, though, if somebody mentions Mark, you automatically think Mark Spider Guy.
I think he's pretty much the only Mark around at the moment, isn't he? Because Matt Simcox packed it in.
Philium Philippinicum. Did I say that right?
I don't think there's a right or wrong way to say names.
No,
That's
there isn't. No,
Latin.
there isn't a right or wrong way of saying Latin names. But if you want one butchering, just ask Scott's Inverts and we'll butcher it. For a lot of the videos and stuff, I have to practice saying the names over and over and over again, and even inbox people and say, "Look, I haven't got a clue where to start with this name. Can you send me a voice note?" And it's like, oh, wicked. Oh, Claire says I nailed it. Wicked. Jose's got a male and female.
I think the best ones.
I'll do the YouTube links. Oh, that's cool.
Is it the? I just call him Simon. There's no way that I can pronounce that second part of its Latin name.
Oh, hold on a minute. Quick join, we'll be back. Fake Beard Smurf. Chris is here on Wheels has been a channel member for 10 months as well. I missed that. It didn't come up. It didn't come up on my end. 10 months. Wow. If you want to wish your life away, get channel members. Honestly,
I've seen your
hello.
6 point something now, are you?
Yeah, 6 point something or other.
Dude, man, you're smacking it.
It's just numbers, mate. That's all it is. It's just
I know
numbers.
it's numbers, but
If you want to grow your YouTube channel fast and you want loads of subscribers, then go for shorts. That's how Robbie's Talking Tees is getting so many as well as myself. Is just do shorts as well as your normal content. The problem with that though is then your normal content doesn't get pushed out as much because it favors your shorts.
yeah.
So what I'm thinking about doing is doing this channel for more videos and then doing a short channel for people that want to watch shorts, maybe. But what it has enabled is it's enabled a lot of the TikTok type videos to come across, so you can have a bit of a laugh with your shorts and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Mark the Spider Guy has been a channel member for 17 months. Wow. That is that's been some time. Thank you guys so much. It's a bit of a shocker when it comes up and you think it only feels like, a couple of months ago we got the channel member thing. Hi Lewis.
Yeah, all right, Lewis.
Nessa says that she talks to you a lot and she normally swears at you.
you.
We can't swear for another 15 minutes, so I think that's why she's refrained from commenting too much. A lot of people do. If you mention Impossible Inverts, it's the first thing people say is Gavin is one of the nicest, helpful men on the planet, and I've heard that from a lot of people, Gavin, a lot of people, and I think that's one of the keys to this hobby is nice, beautiful souls like yourself helping people, giving people better understanding of insects. But where's your love for them come from?
It's something that's been there like since I was like a toddler. I think I spoke to you about this before, like going back to when I was a kid, because my dad and my granddad were photographers. So the little like tubs that you got the film in,
Yeah,
I'd take the clear ones, and I'd get bees off of the hedges and stuff, just so that I could watch them inside the tub. I'd let them go afterwards, like. But I've always been fascinated with nature. So it's. Then I got to a point where I had the ability to be able to buy my own insects and my own spiders and so on. It just opened an even bigger world for me.
Oh. Steve W, look at me being a slacker. Only 6 months. I'll do better in the future. Oh my god, channel member for 6 months. Cheers, Steve. And he upgraded. That is so true, bless him. Mitch does take a while, says Vanessa. I messaged Gavin instead of Mitch, as responses are faster. I should imagine Mitch is inundated with messages. And you've got to remember, take it from me. He's got a child with autism, just as well as I have, and Steve Thornton, and that takes up a lot of your time. And it's all great saying, but when that kid's asleep, that's when you chill out. That's when you can go, right, that was a stressful day. I need an hour or two without answering messages. And then I should imagine Mitch then goes back to his phone and goes, wow, that's a lot of messages.
Yeah. But he's been a lot better recently by his own admission. And he's been he sets aside a little bit of time each day just to try and work through like the bulk of them. He doesn't always get to everybody's messages because, I mean, you're probably the same being a large YouTuber. You'll get a lot of messages each day. And so it can take a while to get through them, especially if somebody wants to talk. And you can't just, give them like a one-word answer, say, and then go on to your next one. If somebody's wanting to talk, then you have to like engage with them and have that conversation. So then your time gets long.
It was busier for me a while ago. Not as busy now, but you do get like the same question, and you've got to answer it in the same way. You can't just go. You can't be snappy because they've asked you. You've been asked the same question over and over again. And I think that's where the difference between, say, one of the huge channels that's earning money will give you a quick, fast answer. Those with enthusiasm will give you the longer, proper answer, if you like. And that's from personal experience. But it helps to keep everybody connected as well, does the messages.
Yeah.
Doing YouTube or not, it keeps the community together. All the positive groups and the positive group chats and stuff like that's going on. It does. Tarantula Brandon going to order mine soon and some feeders. That's how I make good friends, says Claire. Claire, you see? Claire. Not Aurora, Claire. Yeah, Mark tries to have... Mark, Spider Guy, is very helpful. If you want anything promoting, he'll promote it out literally everywhere. And he won't stop. And if somebody needs support, he'll do everything in his power to help them as well. I get what you're saying, Claire. I really do. I really do. Have you got any...
I don't think I even have any friends outside of the hobby. All mine are within that circle. I mean, Mitch is like my closest friend within like reach. And then I've got like Steve, which I consider also like a best friend, and Adam. But yeah, that's from meeting them within the hobby.
I've got a lot of time for Steve. I have. He can get upset pretty quick, but I've got a lot of time for him.
But yeah, he's a cool guy, is Steve. He really is.
Oh, cheers, Brandon. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good people in the hobby, and I think more and more good people are actually being attracted to the hobby, which makes everybody's lives a lot easier, or far more.
Yeah.
And I think it's a special time because there's so many different ideas at the moment seem to be coming into the hobby as well. Like different style enclosures, different style designs, new ways of keeping. Alternative ways of keeping the same insect as well, which both ways are obviously producing positive results.
Yeah.
So then that gives you that I've got one, but I really like them. So I got another one in a mystery box. Oh, keep one like this and one like that. And
see, that's what I like. Like you can. It doesn't work for everything, but you have that option to be able to just experiment a little bit, and then it gets you more engaged with the invert that you've got, and you learn a lot of stuff because you spend more time observing, because you're frightened that something might go wrong because you're keeping it slightly different.
Steve says, I've got a couple of friends outside the hobby, but they're weirdos and they've only got normal pets. The only problem with having friends outside of the hobby is you have to talk about normal, crappy stuff, boring stuff. And, like, oh, this shop up the road's selling this, or thingy up the road's gossiping about another person up the road. And it's like, you got any tarantulas yet? No, right, I'm going to go to sleep and wait till you finish.
Yeah. Have you got all relevant to talk about?
Yeah. So my friends outside the hobby are very few, but very long-term friends. I have, like yourself, I have a lot more inside of the hobby. I'd say the wife, she's got her toes in the hobby, but she's not in the hobby, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I love meeting up with Paris Hatchard. She's so lovely. We seem to be on the same wave, says Nessa. I don't think I know her, Nessa. Claire does. That's a good friend of Claire's. Yes, Paris Hilton is awesome, says TJ. Oh, my God. None of my friends except my girlfriend care about any animals, much less exotic, says Jackson.
Me.
Brandon, there's Brighton Invert Sunday. Shame I can't get there, though. You never know, Brandon. There could be somebody going from your area that's got a spare seat. What area you're in, and you never know. My husband doesn't have a clue of any more spiders, but I still talk about them to him. Ha ha. I know what you mean, Claire. I do the same with my wife. Apart from a little while ago, we had to have inspectors in the kitchen, which is where I keep everything. So I had to move like 3/4 of my collection out, and they went to Lewis's, and Lewis was sitting he was in the front room as I'm passing them to her, and my wife's expression on her face was literally like, "What? I didn't realise you had that many." Lewis says, I've met some very, very close friends that mean the world to me through the hobby. One very special person. I wonder who that is.
Yeah, I can't imagine who that is.
I don't think she's listening.
I'm listening. I'm not reacting.
Why? What are you doing?
Doing Smithy.
This is what I love about you guys. So creative.
It's not finished yet.
So, it's still amazing. Get it out. The picture. It's not 9 o'clock just yet. That's awesome, though.
It's still got a lot. I'm just doing the background colours.
So if you want to draw another spider, go see Ellie.
No, please. Any other invert, yes, but not spiders. I don't like their hairs. They're hard work, and it takes hours and hours and hours and hours of doing it. Okay?
But she will do it, obviously.
They're so easy to mess up as well because of the hairs, so you can't automatically see where all the body parts are separately, or the joints or things like that.
Yeah, Ellie is very talented. Lewis says she's very talented. I think he might mean something different to what the rest of us mean, though. We've got 2 minutes until 9 o'clock. If you're a regular, you know what happens at 9 o'clock. If you're not a regular and you've got any children watching, come 9 o'clock.
Guess what?
Hold on, it's probably best that you remove them because we do swear and we do talk about adult conversations. But don't worry, there's a certain word everybody will blast in the comments come 9 o'clock.
Guess what, Scott?
Go on.
Lewis left your login with me. So if your nice little friend there doesn't say that precious word at 9 o'clock, I can kick him out.
Hey. Well, I'll have to take that away and change its number. Change the password then.
Think that'll work, yeah?
I didn't give it him to pass out.
Who said he passed it out? Who said he just didn't log in and left it there by accident?
Don't give her a big head, says Mark. After 9, we can talk how to remove Putin. No, Durgeon, this is a war-free chat, mate. Mainly because we're all just going off on massive rants and creating an invert army to go over there and destroy a lot of them. I know it was a joke, Durgeon. The whole thing that's going over there is just like, what the?
Yeah, it's batshit, isn't it? Yeah.
Live and let live. There was, I think things could have been resolved for a treaty myself. It's 9 o'clock, so we do now allow swearing. Lewis has been a channel member for 8 months and says Scott's a wanker.
Yes, Scott's a wanker. Dude next to me. Now, say Scott's a wanker.
Yeah, Gavin, you got to say Scott's a wanker.
You got it.
Scott's wanker.
Yay!
We've even got the wanker sign now. one of the best things ever done. That is, Scott's beard is fake beards everywhere. I know. I've been waiting to do that, says Lewis. I bet Lewis has been sat there with it typed in, waiting for the 9 o'clock to go bang.
Probably.
Gavin, are you on phone?
No, laptop.
Oh, I was about to say, any chance we can have a little walk around your around your spider room? Is that the same place that you do woodworking in as well, or?
No. I have a garage that I've done out as a workshop. So that's where the woodwork goes on. And then I do I paint things in here, as well as have my tea in here. And then that side is just the normal living room.
Did your nose piercing hurt?
No. Well, the piercing itself didn't. It's the bloody clamp.
Is it a middle nose piercing or a side?
Middle.
Oh.
The septum. But yeah, when the clamps go on, that's the bit that hurts.
The clamps are worst. I have fully
nipple as well. Oh.
I've wanted mine doing, but I've broke my nose that many times. There's like bits of skin missing from inside it and all sorts. But colourful life.
When did you break your nose?
Before you were born.
I think anything with cartilage in it, clamps are a pain in the ass and they're the worst part ever. Everything else is perfectly fine, but cartilage is the worst for clamps.
Oh, thank you. My nipple hurt on the clamp more than the piercing as well, to be honest. Oh, she's a beast. Absolute beast.
That's Bruce, but Bruce is a female.
Is the pumpkin in there all year round, or is it just Halloween?
No, that's the enclosure. That's how it is.
Oh my god! People are going to be mentioning wanting you to do tarantula backgrounds now after seeing that bad boy.
So that's me LP.
That is one evil pumpkin. Lazadora Parabama DJ.
Hey, she's not happy.
Hello, beautiful.
Look at the
That's the first
spread
time I've
on
had
that.
a threat pose off of Miss Dermy. Wow.
And that hiss we got off her as well. Look at the size of those fangs. My god. Somebody wants a cuddle, says Gemma. Lewis still wants Boba Fett, Gavin.
Yeah, I want to do more Star Wars stuff.
Invert mentions Lewis they've got a glass Starship Trooper head, and he tagged your old Facebook. Well, I couldn't tag your new one for some reason on the actual post. She's like, yeah, she's going to come through the glass and take your head off.
Yeah, she will. This one would as well. That's my adult female Ken Kraken.
Oh,
That's just her front looking at us.
oh yeah.
She's a beast, mate. A carapace, a £2 coin at least. It's nuts.
Big girl. Oh, those legs. Hello.
She might come. It's my non-do chromatus. I tried to pair her, but she just munched male. Right. He were tiny.
You can philosophize and kind of talk about females munching males all night and the reasons behind it. We'll never know.
No. Then this tank here that's covered up, I've got a Kallenbergie that I'm waiting on an egg sack.
Well, I'll leave that one covered up then.
Yeah. She's come back for a bit. I had her in a different enclosure, not a proper enclosure. So I upgraded it, I put her in there, and I haven't seen her since. So she's gone down back. So fingers crossed. She's absolutely massive. Her abdomen is huge.
I paired up the Vitata, sprayed her and everything, and did all everything right, and increased the temperatures. She chucked out a molt, which I know normally you'd be like pissed off about because you've paired her up and everything, but she has come out looking so gorgeous and so she is fucking huge. I was like, okay, I'll let you off with the egg sack, not doing it. She's just come out absolutely stunning.
That's what happened with that chromatus.
Absolutely.
She afterwards, and I was like, how can I be mad? I mean, you just stunning.
If you pair up a tea and you haven't got the male no more and then molt, it's just like it's a positive because they've got through a molt and now they're suddenly beautiful again. Just one of those. Harry says Unseen Universe.
I'm not Unseen Universe. That's Mitch.
Mitch is Unseen
I
Universe.
love Unseen Universe, but Unseen Universe let me down, and so did every other mantis breeder going, because I wanted a specific mantis, and none of them have it, and I was mad. Okay, now I'm not buying any more mantises.
What species was it?
Diabolica.
Ah. Devil's Flower.
Harry, it kind of says underneath him there. What impossible inverts. Him and Mitch are very, very close friends, and Gavin will go on Unseen Universe's stand at the shows and what have you. Oops, I made Ellie mad.
Yeah, the Diabolica is the best. It's so
Hi,
good.
Matt.
The washing machine is spinning really fast.
Never is washing. Of course, it's spinning.
It looks like this.
Because it's gone to the outside.
Bless him.
Crystal, the washing is completely fine, and there is stuff in there.
But I can feel the thumbs shaking.
Yes. Just go upstairs. Go back
Harry
to school. You'll understand the rules. You'll understand why.
Unseen Universe. Has Mitch got some true spiders in at the moment then?
Yeah.
Ooh, what's he got? Anything interesting? Well,
I'll start with he's got a huntsman, so he's got the Venatoria, and he has mature males of Venatoria. If anybody's after any mature males, we've got a few.
it's Jeremy in the chat. He might be.
He's got David Bowie's.
They are a stunning spider.
They are, yeah, and they just get more and more stunning each time they molt as well.
They live a good while as well, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Which is surprising. Everybody thinks true spiders are dead in a year, and it's like that's not the case. One of the longest lived spiders is a true spider.
A lot of people base it on our own like native species because ours are more seasonal, aren't they? They obviously grow with the different seasons that we have, whereas a lot of the other true spiders that we have come from places that more or less just have one extended season, don't they?
Yeah, one kind of climate, and then the rainy season, and then the same climate again. But they don't have to go and hide if it freezes over, because it don't freeze over, does it?
Yeah, exactly.
But saying that, give this country another 20 years and we'll have no frosts.
That's the way it's going, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
The one with the big eyes, yes, the Dinopus aspectans, ogre face spider.
They are. If anybody's into their photography, that is the spider. That's the spider that you want, because the macro pictures of their faces are absolutely awesome.
And if you're lucky enough to manage to capture a clear shot of it actually taking its prey, then the reward is there.
Don't buy huntsmen from Spider Shop because they're wild caught. I think with a lot of true spiders, Harry, wild caught is completely fine, because true spiders, a lot more true spiders than what there is tarantulas out there, and a lot of the wild caught that people get in that are true spiders are nowhere near going onto a CITES list. There'll literally be millions and millions and millions out of them. That's why they're always quite cheap. Hogna Miami is like a tenner each at sub-adult size.
Yeah.
Kind of. But people like Mitch, Jeremy, who was in the chat earlier, there's more captive breeding going on at the moment, but we've got to get them into the country to begin with in order to get a breeding program going. And again, it's not always as simple as chuck a mail in, and they'll do their thing. These are true spiders, so that the knowledge behind the true spiders isn't there. We haven't got an arachnoboards like we have for tarantulas. So with true spiders, some of them might need conditioning. You just don't know. So for the time being, we actually need that wild caught in. You won't buy the true spiders, but you bought a wild caught male whip scorpion from Tony Webb stand. That confuses me. Jeremy, as of right now, true spiders in the hobby are wild caught, but myself and others are trying to captive breed them to ensure we have populations. Hi, Ant Ramblings. Yeah, it's the same with any animal. It's got to be wild caught to be in the hobby in the first place. It's just that wild caught has got to be regulated.
It's how it's done. I was having this conversation with Vanessa earlier. Or Nessa. I won't call her Vanessa. She told me off.
Yeah, Versico going on CITES as of January, end of January, I think it is.
You see,
but again, there's so many Versicola in the hobby. We don't need any wild caught versions.
This is exactly what I said to Nessa. You know, it annoys me when you see that they're taking out like quite large numbers of species that's well established within the hobby, and it's like, why? You don't need to take them anymore. They're there. They're established. People can get hold of them.
I think the only point we need wild caught is when the slings start developing differently to the adults, and then there's obviously a genetic issue there.
Yeah, you have to introduce a little bit of new blood.
But the amount of DNA lines we must have for Versicola in the UK must be in what, got to be 500 or 600 at least.
Jeremy, yeah, I meant to message you, but I will talk to you about that. But yeah, he has.
So wild caught is always going to be one of those dark areas. But if something's wild caught, it's not necessarily a bad thing. If something's wild caught and it's CITES, then it is a bad thing because they're already endangered. That's what the message is. You know, if you see something that's wild caught, do a little bit of Googling to make sure wild caught for that species is legal. And then if it is, then go for your purchase, because if it's legal, that means they're sustained healthy populations in the wild. What's the biggest piece that you've done so far, Gavin? It's after 9. Have you got your taxidermy stuff?
No, I am. A few odd skulls, but not spectacular. It's just like a couple of birds and stuff.
It might not be spectacular for you, dude, but half of us ain't got them. I've got a tiny lot.
I can't even get to them anyway. Look,
yeah.
Right in the way. Up there.
And all the framed tarantula molts. That is one cool insect room.
What would you say my biggest piece is, Steph?
Your hands,
probably Adam's guitar.
Oh yeah, guitars.
And if not Adam's guitar, Danny's guitar.
Look. Did you say Mrs. Gavin is into the hobby as well as, or?
She's just in charge of sling feeding.
Yeah, she just feeds the slings.
What does she think to your kind of Madame Bazaar collection? And was she aware of it when you got together?
It's developed while I've been with her. So she kind of lived with it as it's progressed.
Watch the expansion.
Yeah. With my stationery addiction. So
yeah, she is addicted to stationery.
It's all about compromise.
See how little
got a stationery habit.
It's hard not to be addicted to stationery then.
What is it? Layla's the same. And Tara.
The notebook, Scott.
It's the different types of pens that they never use.
I use them.
We use everything we
you
have in portions, unless they're for backup, and then we need to finish what we use them first, and then we'll use them ones later to make sure they don't sell out or the price don't increase, and then we can't afford them.
See, my mate's sister, she's got her and her husband. They've done really well in life, so they've got this massive fuck off house, and they've converted the loft. The loft was huge, and she said to me and my mate, she went, "I've just bought some stuff. Would you pick it up in Aaron's van?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure, no worries." She bought a hobbyist shop on eBay, so everything in a hobby shop you can imagine, we put all in a loft, and we were like, "You now have everything, right? You got everything there, literally card printing shit or sewing shit, fucking everything, right?" But 3 weeks later, she was like, "Would you mind picking something else up in the van?" We were like, "Yeah, sure." She only bought another fucking one. Now you can't move it around. Ellie has thousands of pens.
It's not that many, baby. Just enough. I think I've got more pencils than I got pens now.
But to be fair, though, you hear of somebody having like 1,000 pencils, and if you go in somewhere like WH Smith's or an artist shop, and you see all the pencils lined out, they all do different shades, different line thicknesses, different depths. They all smudge differently and all the rest of it. So you can kind of think, yeah, I need that many. But when it comes to colouring in pens, you only need about, 50? That's it. You don't need no more than that, do you? Hey, Russell.
There's all the in-between colours.
Anyway, that's how you cope with a spider addiction.
Is curly hair on the sighties, says Harry. Honestly, I don't know. I know Mexico stopped the export because the wild population was getting low. Whether it actually made it onto the CITES list or not, I don't know. It must have done. I think it must have done.
Costa Rica's just put a ban on as well, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh. This is the thing, kids. Just found it. I think curly hairs. I don't think we'll need any wild caught for about 100 years. I think 95% of the brachypalmas and the Tahiti cattles we won't need wild caught for a long, long time.
No. Not at all.
And ramblings. Why would anybody want a wild caught curly hair? There's two localities, aren't they? So the second locality is reasonably newish to the hobby, I suppose. Or Tony says, "Hey, been here from the start, but had a proper fuck on tinery. Make a new password because my phone's broke and I forgot my password for everything. I hope everything's well." Tony, you're not the only one. When I last changed phones, I forgot my password to my Google account. So that meant I couldn't even get onto YouTube or nothing. And because I didn't have the SIM, I couldn't get the password reset either. Mate, if it weren't for Lewis and Chris that weekend, I don't know what I'd do. They literally went through everything. Eventually, we managed to sort it out. Is there any mantis on the CITES list? It's not something that comes up very often for the majority of us.
No, because I think basically like it's more a new species in like places like Peru. I don't think there's an export for long enough for them to be noticed. You know what I mean?
Oh, Bear. Do you keep many mantis at home, or do you literally just all with Mitch?
No, I've got my own collection. So basically, everything here is my own collection, and then Mitch deals with the mantis at his house, and then I deal with the spiders in the spider shed.
So if all the other mantis could not hear what you're saying, which one's your favourite?
I don't have one particular favourite.
No, I get you.
There's too many different features with different species that make them stand out from something else, and then there's too many.
I always say it's like asking a child to go in a candy shop and picking one sweet. It's not going to happen, is it? I think a lot of us are in that same like. What do you mean? Pick a favourite. They're all my favourite.
There is a few that I can say that like I lean more towards. I do love dead leaves, whether that be the Deraplatis or even Ghost Mantis, which is some more breeding that I've been doing, because I have the Filicrania Eludens, which is a slightly bigger.
Oh, it froze.
Them.
I find, do you know, like, oh, hold on. Gavin still froze? No, we're all good again. I find, do you know, like the ones with the tiny legs, like the cryptic and the violin. I like those, but then I really like is it the African giant mantis?
Herodula.
There's like a solid green and the males fly.
Yeah, that's probably most likely.
Begins with an L. I'm sure it does.
It's the Lineola.
Lineola, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the Frodomantis, I think, is Lineola.
I had one of those, and it turned out to be male, and I literally used to get it out every day just to fly it around the kitchen.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Uncle Dave. Just a quick visit. Needs his bed, he says. He's getting old, isn't he, Dave? That's why he needs his bed.
He's not that old. You don't be cheeky to Uncle Dave. Uncle Dave kick you up your butt. Uncle
Dave's coming on the stream next week.
Yeah, he definitely kick you up the butt then.
Ellie's got a thing for Uncle Dave. Cheeky fucker, he says. To be honest, I think Dave's only a few years older than me. I don't think there's much in it.
Isn't Dave younger than you, Scott?
He's 21. I'm 22. Gavin's 19. You're 50.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely oldest. No problem there. I'll babysit all you lot, that's for sure.
That's the best way you can explain Ellie. What's Ellie? Babysitter to the whole community.
Two ticks.
I just look younger, says Dave. The camera lady yelled lights out at 10 o'clock. Oh. Yeah, Uncle Dave will be joining the stream next week. Scott's 22. Yeah, right. He's that old. He's back to 22 again. Pretty much. I'm 43. But you know, for guys that are like, if you're in your teens or your 20s, it's as you get older. I think men get to about the age of 28, and we don't mature any more than what we are when we're at 28. Do you know what I mean? So you still stay daft, you still stay true, stupid, and all the rest of it, and you still stay kind of 28, 26 in your heart and your mind, but your body ages. That's the only thing. Trump gets 2 years in jail in China. I'm unaware of that story, Harry. But it'd be good, that is. Camera lady says I'm still 12 most of the time. I'm a child trapped in a man's body. It's the best way. Oh, hold on. Let me get you on big screen. Wheel the big telly in.
Zoom in. There we go.
That's
How is the little one?
beauty.
Oh.
So she's my my green lady. She's just laid an ooth, and then I've got another female that's just a plain tan colour.
Wow. So obviously, you know, I mean, I don't breed a lot at all, but kind of my breeding knowledge is more spiders than mantis. How do they hook up? Can you literally just chuck them in a tank and?
Well, yeah, that is basically how you do it. You do just put them together, but you have to make sure that there's food available and that she's eating when you put the male in there, because she needs that distraction while he creeps around and then he jumps on her back. But then he can be stood on her back for hours before he actually does anything. And then he just wiggles his abdomen, kind of like it sort of curls round and then underneath, and then just links up with the female. And more often than not, the male gets away alive, despite what the popular belief is.
Has the male mantis, have they got a penis, or because with tarantulas you've got your pedipalps, haven't they?
Yeah, no, it's weird. He's got like with the both. It's like a claw that interlocks with itself.
So they've both got a claw, and they just.
Hers opens up, I think it is, and his goes in, and then hers closes around it.
Oh, so he is pretty fucked when he's in then.
Yeah.
No, it's Steve.
He's very nimble and light, so can usually get away quite easily. Like I say, a lot of people think that mantis mate, and then that's it. She's going to turn around, she's going to eat his head, and that's it, done. That does happen with some of the more aggressive and larger species, but more often than not, your males will get off, especially if they're good at flight and they've got room to fly.
I suppose it's a shock factor always interests people. So tarantula munching the male. Ooh. Mantis munching the male. Ooh. So that's where your attention goes. I would have thought. Do you keep anything else other than mantis and the spiders?
I've got some red apple crabs. Got 2 of them. Or I did last time I seen them. They could be on a molt cycle though. They've been out for a few days. So I've got 2 of them, and then I've got a rainbow crab as well.
I thought one of my mangrove crabs was dead, but it was on a molt cycle. Couldn't believe it. I was like, I nearly threw you away.
Yeah, I had that a couple of times. Got lots of different species.
Literally joined as Scott said, do mantis have a penis? Yeah, only here, dude. Only here. I like to know these things. Do you know what I mean? Crabs are another part of the hobby that's fascinating. I think if I had more room, I'd definitely have more crabs. I think I've had the apple crabs in the past. These mangroves are like twice the size. And we've got 2 in a 30 by 30 by 30. Half of that's substrate, and then I've put like a piece of bogwood going up to hold substrate back. And one's burrowed from the top, and one's gone in from the bottom. But they don't half like prawns. Whew.
Yeah, mine.
Prawns,
like
crab, roaches.
I actually give them live roaches.
Well,
and they quite happily take them.
Scott's got crabs. There's no room for the crab. Oh my god! I know why Lewis is laughing. There's nothing, something not to be proud of. Scott crab. Say Scott's got crabs, right? I bought them. Tara stole them, so they're Tara's crabs. So my wife has crabs.
I think you better both get down to the gun clinic.
To the Doodah Clinic. Want to give breeding vampire crabs a go at some point, says Jeremy.
Cool,
yeah, good luck. You need a huge setup. I was looking.
You have to do the brackish water, and then you have to do the salt water as well. Yeah, there's a lot of messing about with them.
Uncle Dave said most people get them for nothing. There's medication for that, says Bear.
Yeah, most people get them but don't want them.
Exactly, Lewis. But if you've got them all, they cancel each other out anyway. Scott, you can claim for your nippers. Watch you don't get crabs in your fake beard. That would be a nightmare. I had a baby Balfouri. In fact, Lewis has got it, which escaped into my beard. And literally, it was in the middle. So it weren't. I couldn't grab it. I just had to wait for it to come out.
That's like Mitch with the Hogner.
Was that a Miami? Hogner Miami?
Madiriana, I think.
I think I've got a slight. I favour Hogner Miami. I must admit. I've had a female. Oh God, 2 or 3 years ago, and I was looking for a mature male for so long. And after a year, it passed away. And probably about 6 months after that, somebody come forward with a mature male going, "Wait, are you looking for a mature male?" I was like, a year ago, yeah, Hogner beard.
That's the problem, like, especially with the true spider, like, when it comes to people owning them, they tend to have, like, males and stuff, but they don't tell anybody that they've got the males. And we need those people to come forward with those males.
I think,
so that we can, at least try and get these captive bred.
I think one of the things is, to pack a tarantula up, it's pretty much straightforward. A true spider and a mature male at that, trying to get packing one of those up is going to be a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. I was very lucky with the Phalax because Aspar Spiders had got the 2 females. Do you know what I mean? So he's only up the road, so I literally drove there and went, "Well, here we go, let's pair him up then." But the idea of trying to pack that thing up, wow, fuck that.
Yeah, they're fast.
There is, you got True Spiders International Facebook group, and then there's another True Spiders UK or something. I think it is Facebook group. I think those 2 groups, especially for the UK, are probably the best bet if you want to be looking for your mature males for True Spiders. Oh, what did I miss about Balfouri? Have you got Balfouras?
Yeah, I've got 3 in a communal. I started off with 5. They're quite decent in size now. Jubies. They were so small when I first got them.
I got given 2 small communals, and we put them together as one. And I was going to split them up. And keep them as individual spiders. And if it weren't for Lewis again, actually Lou Pang, I don't think I would have ever bothered keeping them as a communal. But now I've got them as a communal, it's just like, wow. I think for observing tarantulas, they're the most active ones that I've come across as a communal by themselves. Because I have kept an individual one by itself, and they literally just sit on the web and they don't do a lot. As a communal, there's always something going on.
Yeah, like you'll have one that'll be scouting around for the food, and then you'll have another one that just sits at the entrance, almost like it's guarding it, but waiting for that signal to say, "Come on, then we've got something." It is quite
more
fun.
in there that's got to do, Lewis, but next year. Thinking of getting a communal of chestnut baboons. Forgive me, Michael. Which ones are the chestnut?
Little brown ones grow about this big. Really cute.
Scientific name. Oh, what is that? Let me just shout the stepdaughter a second. Yeah, seller. Yeah. I don't think I'd go for a communal forum, but good luck.
I want to try INSEE, but I only want to try an INSEE communal from my own breeding, and then using the slings that I get.
Is that because you'd feel like there's a better bond between the slings, therefore when they grow, they're not going to eat the mates, kind of thing?
I don't know. That's why I'd want to do it like that, just so that I can observe. But if I'm taking my own sack, I could like maybe do, say, a communal of 10 and then a communal of 5, then maybe keep a few separately and see how the different setups work.
It'd be interesting.
Still one of those that's a lot of people, it's like a 50-50 split with people saying whether it works or it don't work. But we're watching Richard, Tarantula Collective, and he had that doctor, and she'd been doing it for like 27 years or something, she was saying. And she had like, I think it was 16 communals going, and she says that she's never had any problems. So I'd just like to find out.
Did she actually show you all 16 communals or anything like that on the video?
You got, I think there were a little clip that sort of like looked around her, it was like an office space that she had, and you just saw like a few different tanks that were outside. But
because my
when you look
fear,
at one of their tanks, you're not going to see them anyway because they're wet that much.
my fear is always like, if you say, yeah, they're communal, people keep them communal, they lose some, and then they blame you because you said they're communal.
But it's like pokies though, isn't it?
Yeah, Tom Moran,
Christoph has proved that you can keep them. But I think a lot of that with them is if you don't give them too many hiding spots where they can seclude themselves and sort of mark out that as theirs, then you're less likely to have that hostility towards each other.
Well, this is something that, again, with animals in general, I think, because back in the day when we kept fish, Malawi, which is basically when you say Malawi, it's any fish from Lake Malawi over in Africa. You'd overstock the tank, like massively so. You know, a tank that you could keep 100 in, you'd literally put 300 fish in there, and you'd filter it, you'd over filter it, and all the rest of it. Have wave makers go in, and the reason for that is because then the alpha males don't attack smaller females or smaller males or anything like that. It helps to keep that aggression right down. I'm wondering if that's the same kind of philosophy with the tarantulas, because if they see one spider, then they see another spider this side of them, and then one over there, maybe they're not so quick to go, yeah, I'm the daddy. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you kept two together, then that aggression's going to go, it's going to overboil maybe.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's very, very interesting subject. It'd be interesting to if science could measure the hormone levels of a Balfouri that's kept by itself, and then compare it to the hormone levels of one kept in a communal, and then again measure hormone chemicals when two are kept together. It'd be very interesting to see what differences are with those.
I imagine it won't be long before they can do something similar to that. But it'll be a case of measuring electropulses, because they'll be able to put, and it sounds quite bad, but they'll put them to sleep similar to the way that they put centipedes to sleep with the CO2 gas. They'll do that, and they'll just glue on sensors onto the legs or onto the carapace. I mean, they're using similar sort of technology with the bees at the moment, the microchips on the backs. So I don't imagine it'd be long. But it's definitely an interesting one to want to know.
We just need a lot of interest in it, so we can get some funding for it to be done.
That's what it always comes down to, isn't it?
Bees are one of the essentials of life. Without bees, we've got no crops, so they're always going to be at the forefront of that type of investigation. But my God, it would be very interesting to put something like that on a spider. Yeah, I think it'd be really interesting to put something on the males, mature males of every species of tarantula, like a little tracking device, to see exactly how far they do wander from their original location.
Yeah, like one of those pedometer.
Yeah. Because I mean, one half a mile walk for us. If a spider walked that far, it's going to be the equivalent of him doing 100 miles. So it'd be interesting to see how far males actually do travel, instead of going, oh yeah, well we think they travel this distance, but we haven't got enough data to back it up. It'd be Polythia metallica. It'd be amazing to see how far those males travel, because obviously those numbers are dwindling in the wild at the moment. But I know that they've found a bit further up north now, haven't they? In another valley.
Yeah, they're within very small, almost like an island within an area out there.
I'm wondering if they do travel between the two populations. That'd be amazing to find out.
So it makes you think, friend, because I don't know how much you know about the Grammostola. Is it quergai?
Quergai.
Yeah, and how that's actually supposed to be the same species as the pulchripes, I think it is. Now, rather than it just being locality, is it a male that's being able to travel that distance, breeding with these other females, and that's how we've got the two separate.
Got the second locality type of thing.
Yeah.
The quergai, that's a kind of that's a brownie colour though, isn't it?
No, the quergai looks exactly the same as the pulchra, the Brazilian black. They look the same.
How do you tell the difference between the two? I've never kept the quergai.
I kept both of them, and as slings, the quergai is more grey, and as grown up, is more furry. Like, it looks more like it got fur, like a Shire horse. It's more shaggy fur, where the pulchra is more smooth fur.
And that's
the difference between the Tripepi and the Chromatus. Like, the Tripepi is such a scruffy tarantula.
Yes.
I mean, the stunning tarantulas. I mean, I've got a lovely sub-adult pair, but they are really scruffy. And then when you compare it even to like the Carapoensis or the Calaveras, it's just completely different in its appearance. They're like Ellis as well.
Like true form and hobby form curly hairs.
Yeah. But there's also a difference in colour as well, isn't there, with the curly hairs?
Yeah. So the Corrigan is just the same as a bull crow, just hairy.
More hairy, yeah.
Oh.
It's really pretty. You will like it if you see it.
I've never kept one. Be interesting to get one.
I don't think they come around that often.
Mm.
Matt says he was chatting to Andrew Smith, and Smithy says the P. Smithy are at higher risk of extinction due to deforestation. The Mindanao South, I say Mindanao South, there's a north, there's an east, there's a south, and there's a west variance now. They were due for extinction because that whole valley was going to get flooded out for a big water dam, wasn't it? I don't know if that's still going ahead or not. And the only reason I know there's 4 is because I was chatting to somebody that actually lives in that area of the jungle. Interestingly enough, I said to him, I said, what's this about them living in Cane? And he went, and he phoned me from the middle of the jungle. And he lives in like it is a hut, but it's got modern utilities in there. And he went into his garden and he said, this is a Mindanao South. And he cut the bamboo. And sure enough, there's one living in there. And I was like, wow. Which then got me thinking, bamboo you can pick up anywhere because it grows really, really fast. And it's very sustainable. Cork bark isn't sustainable.
Not to the extent of, like, say, bamboo. Because obviously, is it like a 7-year turnaround on the cork?
No, Mark. Bamboo, you can grow it in this country, can't you?
Yeah.
So that will save on shipping and all that kind of crap. So it should theoretically be cheaper than cork bark. If we could get bamboo in your enclosures and just clean the bamboo, maybe that might be a better alternative to the cork bark. I was thinking about this about 2 years ago. I just never delved into it properly because my thinking then was when you break bamboo to pieces, those little shards that come off can be very sharp.
Yeah, they can be.
So you probably have to get. Do you know? Oh, what is it? Do you know the Dremel drill bits? And then you've got one with the flaps of sandpaper around the outside. If you got one of those and went in and out the bamboo,
yep,
maybe that'd smooth out the inside to put my mind at ease.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's only the same as using like a plant pot in your enclosure. When you cut like the bottom out, you don't just leave it all jagged, would you? You'd smooth it off.
Smooth it off, yeah.
But Sidex has got bamboo in his enclosure for his. Is it the tankiness? Or, I don't even know how you say it.
The old Bumbacaloda.
Yeah, I think it is the old Bumbacaloda. Oh no, that's the reading.
No, yeah, that's already Taskiness, yeah.
I think it's because I asked him, I said, is it a newly discovered species? And he was saying it's just newly name changed.
Name changed, yeah.
But that's another one of those tarantulas that in its wild habitat, it's supposed to live within the bamboo. So he's actually trying that at the moment with a length of bamboo. And I think Jaden's got bamboo in his as well.
Taskinus bambus, says Michael Taylor. I should really get one of those with my surname, shouldn't I? But yeah, I can remember having a few conversations, like I said, 2 or 3 years ago, about using bamboo.
Makes sense for how sustainable it is.
And
It's working for other stuff, isn't it? Bamboo toothbrushes, basically everyday items that they're making out of bamboo to reduce plastic. I even use bamboo cotton buds.
is the cotton actually bamboo as well then?
Oof, that'd rip your ear to shreds, that.
I don't know. Maybe they process it in a certain way.
Ever.
Have a lovely evening, guys. Hope to see you all on Sunday, says Uncle Dave. Uncle Dave's off to bed. Ellie, camera
Night,
lady,
Uncle Dave.
is marching orders. Night, Dave.
Pure cotton.
Pure cotton.
Biodegradable bamboo stems, 100% pure cotton tipped buds. Kind and gentle. And sustainable.
Sustainable and biodegradable is what you want on everything that you buy, innit?
Yeah.
We've got, well, we wasn't using biodegradable washing up liquid, but then I was kind of watching how much Layla uses when she does washing up, and I thought, my God, the amount that's going down that sink's incredible. So we've gone to the Ecova. We use that a lot.
Down to us to make those differences.
But then it goes to water treatment plant anyway.
Yeah, but it's the particles that are in it, like
The heavy plastics.
the heavy plastics and whatever else we don't know about that's in there, because they don't always tell us.
I'm not going to tell you the ingredients of the packaging. They'll tell you what the contents is, but they're not going to tell you the ingredients of the packaging. And they don't have to either, do they?
No.
If one of the moderators could put Gavin's Facebook link back into the chat as well. For anybody that's just joined, Gavin is a beautiful soul and has some amazing creations. And it's Impossible Inverts Creations is the Facebook page.
Impossible Inverts and Other Creations.
And Other Creations. That's the one. Are those pieces again, Gavin? Just for if anybody's just joined or recently, you might have missed these earlier. Thank you.
Oh, that's cool.
All hand built. And they're 30 quid on Sunday.
Yep.
That's cheap, dude. That is so cheap.
That's cool.
That's cool. That is so cool.
And I've got this is the one I was going to show you earlier. I put metal plaques on the front now, but I don't think it's picking it up because of light. But it actually says PSG 9, which is the McLeod Spectra. Exacto Tiratum. Yeah.
Jeremy says, "Would you save him the stag people, please?" No, Gemma.
Yeah, I can definitely do that for you, dude.
What are they made of? Gavin says, Matt.
Wood.
Matt, he hand carves the wood. All hand carved, which is just mind blowing.
And if I get this finished, I'll have this. So when I finish painting this is going to be the Subfusca Lowland.
Yes. Do you reckon that'll be ready for Sunday?
If I get my act together, yeah.
So if Gavin gets his act together, and if you go in Brighton, if you go to Unseen Universe fast enough, that might be there.
That might be there, yeah.
If you don't go over there fast enough, and whatever you want is actually gone, speak to Gavin. Commission done. Those prices just seem ridiculously cheap to me.
If people ask like for commissions, basically, if I feel I can do it justice, to a standard where I'd want to have it on my side or, displayed, then I'll do it. I can do it. That's the way I see it.
Wicked stuff. Loving your work, mate.
This is the wife's favourite.
Hold on. Nessa says that's what I want on Sunday, that lowland Subfusca. I think she wants the actual spider as well. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's technically correct as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's not just spiders.
Not just the spiders, no. Versions that's really cool. Again, if one of the moderators could please put Gavin's link into the chat for his Facebook page, I'd be very appreciative.
Not tall enough, really, but yeah.
Craig, just put your YouTube in there.
This is one that I plan to make a lightsaber to go in its hand.
If you finish that off with a lightsaber, Liu Pang is literally going to be like, hello. That is going to be pretty epic. Would you put all these on your Facebook page?
There's various pictures of them. I don't think there's really enough pictures. I need to take more.
That's another job.
But yeah, that is another job. Though.
That sounds like a job for Mrs. Gavin.
Well, I've to take him over to Mitch's, and he's going to use the photo box to take pictures of them.
You need to work for Stephen King. Have you got the wooden raptors there, says Nessa?
The wooden what?
Raptors.
Yeah, I do. This is nuts, this. So you know how Mitch helps along with the Bug Show now, Bug Fest. He has Mantis Fest. So while he was away, I had this crazy idea. Like, wouldn't it be cool? Because one of my favourite things and one of my inspirations behind like the carvings I do is I like the old diorama pieces, like what you used to get at school, like the body part dioramas and stuff like that.
Yes. Have you got a fascination with Jeffrey Dahmer by chance?
No.
I have.
So I might make him a piece that he can use as a demo piece to show the kids like the workings of a mantis raptor. And this is what I came up with.
Wow. So you made that basically so Mitch can show the children.
Yep.
You got a big heart, dude. That's incredible.
It just needs some safety.
So yeah, obviously it's not finished, and I want to fit it with a strap. But yeah, a nice enlarged diagram, diorama, if you like, so you can show the kids how it works. I mean, if it weren't for the kids, I could attach springs and have it spring loaded, but I'd be concerned about kids.
Jeremy says, "Holy shit, that's fucking amazing." Mark says, "That's epic." You just blew my mind putting that out. It's great though, because I mean, once you go to a show, Nick would be shouting at the kids. No, Nick would be talking to the kids. Sorry, down one end, and then that would be the only thing that's going on. Now with pieces like that, that is going to blow the mind of children's. BH says possible hydraulic ?
Yeah,
it's things like that the shows are missing, especially if we've got kids that when you haven't got a babysitter, so your child has to come but they're not interested. Something like that is going to get that child to go, oh, what's that? And then boom, that's that spark. At this point, Gav, once the garbage is sorted out, it's going to be filled. It's sorted out. It's going to be filled with a bunch of your stuff, Gav. I think Jeremy means his bedroom once he's got rid of all his rubbish.
No, he's getting a bookshed in there.
Ah, got ya.
That's his project he's working towards.
That was incredible. What other little secrets have you got hiding back there, Gav, that you've made?
They're in. There's nothing else down there. Like this behind me.
That's cool. DJ says, "Can you make a horror Christmas Santa Claus and run it into the street on Christmas Eve to make children happy?" Well, because you could do Krampus. Or Krampus. That could make a good horror one. Crazy to think a mantis reptorials is a modified leg. Yes, yeah.
Oh, this is it. Like, 'cause
hold on.
I've included that piece. And basically, what the mantis will do is when it's wanting to eat, that'll go back, which allows it clear scissor action. So that's the bit that it actually uses to walk with its front legs.
Wow. So when it goes up on its hind legs, that section of leg then goes back on itself.
Basically, a mantis has 6 legs, as opposed to the 4 that are the legs that everybody knows, but the 2 raptorial claws, if you like, they are modified legs, and that's what allows them to be able to climb onto surfaces.
Night, Craig. Jackson's Arachnid said, "Would you ship to the USA?"
The only problem with that is that the postage ends up costing twice as much as the item you buy. It is crazy money to get so much shipped to America.
If somebody's willing to pay the postage.
Yeah, somebody inquired about a piece that I had, another heart that I've got, and it was ridiculous money. I think it was 50 plus just in postage. And that was, I think that was 2 years ago that I got asked that.
Because when we left Brexit, the postage to the States was supposed to come down in price. It was supposed to open up the USA to us.
Yeah.
Lewis says they're four-legged aliens posing as an insect. Oh, don't get me started with aliens. I was watching this thing that some guy reckons NASA have told him that there's an alien invasion force on Saturn, living inside Saturn at the moment, prepping to invade the world. I know, yeah. He said it quite convincingly. An old guy, a NASA scientist, has informed me. Hold up. Yeah, okay. I think he was micro dosing LSD for depression at the time. Yeah, one of them ones.
Yeah.
So you would ship to the States. It's just, if anybody is in the States wanting one, you've got to realise that the postage from the UK to the States at the moment is bloody pricey.
Yeah. I just won't feel. I won't feel right. And I know it's not me that money is, it's not me charging that money, but I just won't feel right. So it's easier just to keep it. Even European can be a bit of a ball ache as well.
I think Steve had the same issue, didn't he? Because he was people in the USA were asking for backgrounds. I mean, 10 years ago, it was cheap. It was cheap to send stuff to the USA. The shipping within the USA is sky high too, says Vanessa. Jackson says, I understand that. Yeah, I heard the same. I'm sure Spider-Man said the postage for shipping animals across the States was ridiculously high.
Yeah, it costs like stupid money like that, and they have like worse service than we do with our mail.
Mark says there's taxes to go on top of that as well. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, exactly, Lewis. Saturn doesn't have a landmass. He said it was. He said they were inside Saturn. American prices are crazy. $50, not even next day postage. But in the States, what you've got to remember is, it is a big place. So it's not like us sending something to Scotland for next day, because in this country, give or take the Royal Mail strikes, it will actually get there next day. America's huge. It's almost past our conception because we live on a tiny island. Although it doesn't feel like a tiny island to us when we're living here, but compared to America, we are a little tiny pin drop. I can't just use Bugs UK. The Royal Mail takes too long to risk. Yeah, they've cancelled their strikes, haven't they now? So potentially Royal Mail should be back to normal. But if the sellers charge the extra £1 and go from 4-hour heat packs to the 48-hour heat packs, then that should really cover us.
It should do, yeah. The package is sent out well enough in first place.
I mean, to be fair, I've had deliveries when it's been freezing cold outside, packaged exceptionally well, and when they've arrived, the heat pack's just cold. It's gone, and everything inside the box is alive.
Yeah,
because essentially, majority of inverts will survive at quite low temperatures. We had Ian Tarantula on a couple of weeks back, and he said basically his invert shed in the garden, he's got a heat cable that runs all the way around it, and in the coldest times of the year, it maintains a temperature of 14 degrees, and everything there is completely fine. and he's got Metallica's, Balfour's, and all the rest of it, ain't he?
Well, the thing is, like, when you think to some of the places that some of these come from, especially desert species, where people think that they need these extremely high temperatures all the time, when it comes to nighttime temperatures, some of these places hit minuses.
Oh yeah, minus, yeah.
Because this is one of the thoughts that I've had towards the, like we're all struggling with death feigning beetles, the pupation side of it. And I've been wondering, especially over the last few days, if a temperature's a factor.
What, dropping the temperature overnight?
Drop. Similar to like how some species of insect will do the diapause.
Yes.
Now we're wondering if that'd make a difference to it.
There's not much research done about them breeding in the wild, is there?
No.
That's where the study needs to be done, so we can see the phase, the time of the year it is, the temperatures there. And again, crucially, like you're saying, the temperatures at night time, because if they're in a pupator stage and they're experiencing temperatures near to freezing, and then in the day they're experiencing higher temperatures, maybe we need to replicate that in the home. Probably with the use of a freezer, to be fair.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's in the freezer.
With, moth larvae and, well, the pupa. I mean, some species you can get away with just transporting them to like an outside shed and using our winter temperatures. Some of the others you have to actually stick in fridge.
The desert can easily be -40, says BH. Vanessa says, not being able to get my head round diapause. Do you want to explain it, Gavin?
It's very similar to hibernation, except it's not one thing hibernating then coming back out awake at the other side. While it does that little hibernation type thing, the temperatures adjust how it metabolizes inside before it goes through its next metamorphosis. Basically.
So while it's in that stage, it stays at that stage until the temperature changes again.
Yes. So like here, like we have stuff like tortoise, butterfly. They'll hibernate over winter, whereas you'll get something like the hawk moths. A lot of them, they'll get to their last stage of the caterpillar, then they'll go to the ground, and then they'll diapause for the cold weather and come back out as it warms up again.
I wonder if
Rumination, I think it's called, in it, with like reptiles.
Yeah. I wonder if
It's a
our
similar sort of thing.
true spiders do that in the UK. Because
I think some do.
You don't see many in the winter. Then the summer comes, and then you see webbing all over the place. Especially like this when you get the morning dew at the very start of the summer.
I think a lot of our ground dwelling species, so
there we go.
like our wolves, I think they just, apart from the females, that's it. At the end of once winter comes, that's it. But you'll get a few of the females that will stow away for the next generation that comes through, because they'll drop their egg sac at the beginning of the year, springtime. But
there's like our native orb weavers. So the orb weavers in the UK, their sacs will diapause, laid in warmer months, cool down over winter, and emerge when warm again in the spring.
Yeah. There's a lot of species as well, like especially with moths, where they'll do 2 broods a year. So they'll have their early one, which once they get to adult stage, what they lay, eggs, that they'll diapause and then come round again the following spring, and that'll be the first generation, and so on. I don't know where that is.
Michael's back from dogging. BH says snails can do this. Oh, I would have thought snails and slugs do. Slugs, you don't see very many slugs through the summer. And then as soon as it gets a little bit colder and the rain starts, suddenly slugs just seem to appear.
I think it's usually like December, January, and your frosts are supposed to have finished by February, because that's when your daffs start to come through, late February, early March, and they won't come through until the last frost.
The daffs and the
They do a
blue.
similar sort of thing. They do a similar thing to diapausing.
Trees must then as well.
Oh yeah, well that's
They
pretty
go-
much why they
they
get rid
go
of
through-
their leaves and so on, because they can reserve that energy, and that energy feeds just the tree itself for the colder months, and then obviously spring comes back around, everything's accelerated, and they can grow the leaves again.
When I was a child, I didn't really appreciate the seasons that much. As you get older and you kind of witness more and more, and the years go by, you get like it's not a deep understanding as such, but it's a very deep appreciation for the seasons changing.
Yeah.
I love the spring. When everything's coming to life, I absolutely adore it. But then the autumn months as well, like, you know, we're coming to the end of them now, but the trees changing their colours, going all those fiery reds and yellows and oranges. It's literally like walking through some magical land when that's happening in a forest.
Yeah.
And then you have the floor covered in leaves, and you move some of the leaves out of the way, and then suddenly it's like, whoa, spider, oh, millipede, centipede, beetle. It's really surprising what actually lives underneath the leaves that have like recently fallen.
Yeah, but you also, a lot of mushrooms start sprouting as well. So you get the beauty of a lot of the different species, because there is a lot in this country. That's like your flowers of the colder months.
We used to when we used to work at Rolls Royce before. Like, it's all knocked down now and everything, but they had a meadow out the back, and one of the lads, he was a fair bit older than me at the time, and he had like a steam shop. So all this, because the whole of Rolls Royce heating and then was all powered by steam. So it was steam heating, and he serviced all that lot, and he had a cooker, and he didn't really cook much, just the odd rabbit and stuff. And we come September time, we used to go over the back of the meadow and get the big round fungus, the big round like fungus ball, I think they're called.
Like the chicken of the tree and stuff like that.
Yeah, just a big round white ball, literally like a football size. And we used to come back and chop that into slices and fry it up, and that used to be really nice. Puffball, yeah, Michael, puffballs, yeah. But that's the only one I'd feel comfortable with now, going out finding, because you literally get told there's so many, you know, if you get the wrong mushroom, you are that
two different kinds, isn't there?
That puts the fear of God into me, because you're either going to have a full belly, you're going to be really ill, or you're going to be hallucinating for days, depending on which one you eat, you know.
It's a big thing. It's taking mushrooms at the moment, though. The microdosing for help with mental health and
Yes.
I know a couple of people that do it. Well, not actually know them, but know of them.
There's talk that the microdosing, as well as like when you take it for partying as well, actually changes that chemical imbalance some of us have and corrects it.
Yep.
That alone is worth a scientific investigation. But then the those that are born with the silver spoon and high up in hierarchy and end up in government kind of go, oh no, it's drugs. Oh no. And it's like, hold on a minute. Why? Why can't you do scientific research into a bit more into LSD?
Because
You know,
the pharmaceutical companies will lose far too much money. You know, if people were just microdosing, or with some of these other remedies that you can use, CBD oil, things like this, they'd lose a shit ton of money. No sales of metazapine, no sales of fluoxetine, no sales of venlafaxine.
metazapine, yeah, everything. Now, hear me out. If you take LSD, right, and you're tripping your head off, and it's Friday night, you're tripping your head off, all the rest of it. Saturday, you're coming down. Sunday, you're not feeling the effects at all. Monday, you drive to work, you get pulled by the old bill, it's in your system. This is the issue, because the police need to tell whether you've just got LSD in your system or whether it's actually affecting you while you're driving.
Yeah.
With alcohol, it's dead simple. It's called a breathalyzer. But with things like LSD, marijuana, there isn't anything out there that can do that, and with a definitive answer of yes, this man is now under the influence. I think until there's a breathalyzer test or some sort of test that's easily done at the roadside, there will be no chance of any of that being looked into in a serious manner.
Well, yeah, but it's a hard one, isn't it? Because basically what you're saying there is that they have to see through the eyes of that person that's supposed to have taken something. And it's going to be a long time if I were doing that. That'll be like when we're plugging ourselves in to download on the night time.
We're close to that. When I was 16 years of age, I witnessed a car incident. This guy pulled out in front of the other one, big crash, all the rest of it. This guy that pulled out had a full bottle of whiskey, and he drank 3/4 of it in the passenger seat, and he was absolutely hammered. The other guy was a big fella. He said he literally that night he drank 9 pints, and he could feel it, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to be over the limit, so that's going to be the insurance not pay out or anything." He come back, he's shown obviously his breathalyzer showing he got alcohol in his system, but he wasn't over the limit. The other guy was. That's such a grey area. And again, if you revert back to your LSD and what have you, it's like, how do they gauge it all?
Yeah, because everybody metabolizes it differently. That's why drinks are unpredictable.
But then the flip side of that would be, how many pharmaceutical drugs are on the market because of the drug industry? In the USA, magic mushrooms are legal in Oregon and are on the ballot to become legal in 5 more states this election. CBD could test positive in the THC test. Take care with bird seeds. Yes, BH. Bird seeds are treated, hemp seeds.
The stop it.
CBD doesn't say you test positive for THC because it's 2 different chemicals. THC, if you're using it heavily, it can show in your urine up to 2 weeks after you stop taking that substance. So 2 weeks later, you're still showing it. And when I worked in a drug rehab, the research had come out, and they were on the verge of chucking 2 people out because they were testing positive over these 2 weeks. And the powers that be were saying that they've been smoking marijuana outside of the rehab, somehow climbing out the window and then coming back in, or consuming it somehow. And I said, look, this paper here shows that you can have it in your system for up to 2 weeks after the last time that you've touched it, if you're a heavy smoker or in a heavy intake of THC. So we managed to get that changed. But after 2 weeks of being in the rehab, if you then tested positive, you're obviously out because,
because obviously you still
you were getting it somehow. But yeah.
Just be a minute.
Vanessa says, I have a fast drug metabolism. I used to have, but I think I say fast, it was probably just a high tolerance at the time of using. Trill budgie seeds. I think what you find in budgie seeds is hemp seeds, so it's not actual seeds, if you know what I mean. Nightmare at hospital and dentist wears off so quick. What? My mind and my view is if somebody's doing something, it's not hurting anybody, and they're not doing any illegal activities to get hold of what they're doing, then what's the problem? Ellie will message you tomorrow when my cash goes through, said Michael. I really don't. I think if somebody wants to sit at home and smoke a spliff or whatever, I just don't get why the government get pissed off about stuff like that. They're not hurting anybody. The same if somebody wants to microdose with LSD. So fucking what? If they're not hurting anybody and they're not doing anything illegal to get hold of it, to pay for it, sorry, then what's it matter?
That's it. They're not doing any harm, are they? So it's...
No. I think the ones that are doing harm is alcohol. Alcohol's the worst. One of the worst drugs out there in my mind. From what I've seen working in a drug rehabilitation centre, alcohol is one of the scariest drugs out there because people become alcoholics without even realising it because it's easy to creep it up and increase your intake to a dependency.
And it's so readily available as well, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, like, all right, if you're an addict to any drug, you can quite quickly get hold of something, but drink is accessible everywhere.
Mate, when I was doing drugs, you could put me in any part of the country, and you can see another drug user a mile off. I can still see it now, so you know, oh right, I've got 20 quid, but there, you can see another drug user, and it's like having a gaydar almost, but for drug users. But you're gonna have to split it, but you will still talk to them, and you do it. A microdose on caffeine, same Luke. Same Luke. Speaking of that, but alcohol. I mean, I've done a couple of rattles off various drugs in the past. But you compare them to what I saw in the rehab of some of the lads that were like, when I say drinking, I mean obliteration, to absolute obliteration. Their rattles are just something else. It's absolutely something else. Yeah. But I've seen a couple of friends. I've had two friends now that have been alcoholics, and they started smoking and taking THC, and they managed to cut their drink out with very little side effects. Okay, so they come off the drink slowly, but they kept their THC at a consistent use, and they didn't have any of the shakes or anything like that. It was a lot smoother.
It's that shock to the system, innit? That's what usually catches people out. So like, that's what Amy Winehouse, for example, that's why she ended up dying.
Well, because she just stopped. I thought she
just stopped.
I thought she died of overdose.
Yeah, she relapsed, but initially, the how she got poorly in the first place was this sudden stop. But like when I worked at the cemetery, I've buried a few people that have gone the same way. The sudden stop, and within, I think one of them was within 2 weeks, she'd had a heart attack. And that's scary. That.
What a lot of them do as well is you give up for 2 weeks, let's say, and you're clean for 2 weeks, and then they want to relapse, so they relapse. Well, they relapse on the same amount that they used to take. So instead of going for a smaller dose, they go for that higher dose immediately, thinking that's what they need. And because their tolerances have dropped so much, then that is high risk. I gave booze up with no help or meds. Wasn't easy. I bet it weren't my call. And well done, dude. Water coughs. That's a scary thing. It's quite rare, so please don't worry. But it can be the onset of early Alzheimer's due to alcoholism. And I've seen that, witnessed it with my own eyes. The guy came in to the rehab once, and obviously an alcoholic. The day when he was drunk and the evening, completely fine. Remembered absolutely everything. Everything was fine. He knew everything, knew his surroundings and everything. When he sobered up the following day, something was amiss, but we just thought it was down to the rattle. After being in his room for 3 days, he come to reception and he said, "Scott, could you tell me where my room is?" And I said, "Yes, mate, it's through that door, first door on the left." And that was it. Korsakoff's had set in. And it was shocking. Son's doing criminology at uni. Very interested in the topic of drug policy. Recommends books by Neil Woods. Drug Wars, a terrifying inside story of Britain's drug trade. Ooh. Yes, Michael. Yeah, but some people find the common name for it offensive. So we've put the drug world to rights.
We've put the poaching world to rights.
Yeah, the poaching world to rights. How long have you been vaping?
A few years.
I had fentanyl patches. Won't use them. I'm literally off my face when I bet. There's a legal version of heroin in the UK, and it's called buprenorphine, and that's the same. That is a buprenorphine, but in a patch, so it's slow release. And yeah, some things shouldn't be allowed. But I know somebody that's on them and will always be on them for a disintegrating spine, and I think that must. I mean, I get backache. That must be so much pain. So yeah, you stick to those patches. I wonder if the fentanyl patches get you off your face for so many days, and then your tolerances build up maybe, and then they become the painkiller. I don't know. The only stuff I've ever heard of fentanyl is just the streets of zombies that are in the documentaries that you see. That's it. Hey, Scott.
Yeah, and it's when they cut it with other stuff, and that's what wipes people out, the drug users out in it. It's just so deadly.
But phenol in itself is deadly. I think with drugs, it's very strange because they can't cut them with anything too dangerous because you don't want to kill your customers off. But it's like cocaine. When cocaine comes to source at 100%, now when it gets to this country, it suddenly drops down to 60%. Then it gets cut. Then it gets cut again, and then it gets down to street level where it gets cut again. So you're only having like 20%.
Yeah, we were watching a drug thing before, and in America, like some of the dealers, they'll do like a first batch that they'll send out, and that first batch will be like cut really, really high. And if they get a few deaths out of that, that's good for business. Because if they've had a high that's like as high as that in the eyes of, the drug users, they're like, that must have been some really good stuff. And that's when they started cutting it lower then, because they've already pulled them in. But our jaws just hit the floor as soon as they said that. Oh, well, if a few die, that's good for business. It's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Because then people just refer to it as being power. You know, with THC, it's killer. With the other drugs, it's power. It's always been. It's either killer or it's power. And yeah. I was watching a crime documentary. I like to watch gangsters that have come out of prison in the UK, and they talk about times like 20 years ago. And this one said, he said, cocaine is the strangest drug on the planet because it's the most expensive, and it's the most expensive drug that you look for people to share it with.
Yeah, I seen it the other day. It were
Did you see
dead
that?
value on it.
Yeah. And I thought, you're dead right. I thought, you're dead right. I thought you pay so much money for it, and then you look for somebody to share it with.
Yeah. It's just
I
not
mean, when I was taken, I couldn't get enough of it. I couldn't even. I think I could be around it now, but I couldn't just think, oh, I can do this just for one night, because it wouldn't happen. It'd be days.
yeah. Just people act like dicks on it.
I think that happens to quite a few people, Claire. To be fair, with morphine. I had a 4 stomach bypass, so Oromorph literally hits me for 2 minutes and nothing. You sure that's not Viagra, Scott? I could be up for days, yeah. When back in the drug days, I mean, I took a Viagra just for fun. My God, it was all right for the first hour, and then as the hours go by, it just gets painful. It gets very painful. Don't abuse that, V. Don't abuse the Viagra. Michael says, I took 2 once, never again. If you need it, go get it. If you don't need it, do not take it. Do not take it.
The reason that it's aimed for people that are struggling as opposed to those that don't have a problem.
Yeah, if you don't need it, do not fucking take it. I'm telling you. Like I said, for a good hour or two, it's all right. You know, it's good, and all the rest of it. And you think, yeah, this is wicked. You know, I've come 3 times. After that, you're like, it's just pain. It's just painful. You're looking forward to Brighton?
Yeah.
Do you guys go, like, did you go out the night before, or?
No, we've only, well, I say no, we've only stopped over once, and that was Glasgow. But we stayed with Tim and Rad, Steve and that. But this time it's just me and Mitch. But he says we might meet up with some people beforehand. I don't know. I just got to sleep when we get there.
Just sleep in the van.
No, Mitch needs me to keep him alert.
Just give him a caffeine drip. Just line him up with like 10 relentless and just go, look, you know, when we get there, drink one of these every 20 minutes.
When we're open, we can go in night before and set up. So we don't have to do as much in the morning.
No worries, Lewis. No worries.
You know Spider Set?
Know of them, yes, but I don't know them. Yeah.
I know that they're trading at Brighton, but he was interested in some panels off me.
Right,
I
I'm
was
just
I'd
gonna,
heard of them, but I didn't know who they actually were.
I'll be back in a minute. I've got to go for a wee. I should be back in just 2 seconds. You two be alright, won't
No.
you? Gavin and Ellie, Scott's Inverts takeover.
Hello, dude.
Hello. How's it looking?
Funny.
Funny.
I'm not good at doing sliders. But other people seem to like them.
Well, it looked all right to me. Although I think we're creative people are usually their own worst critic. I know I am.
I'm just adding other extra details because I decided I wasn't happy with it. But I don't know if I'm ruining it or making it better.
I used to be like that with things that I made. Like I'd make it out of the wood, and it looks lovely in wood and the natural. But and you're like, well, if I paint it, am I just going to knacker it and make it look rubbish? Yeah.
But the most important thing is the customer happy? If the customer is happy, then it's all good.
That's it. You know you're doing something right if they're happy. That was weird. I was talking to Mrs.
Is it Elmer's?
No, but it's weird.
Is it really good?
Yeah. And it smells weird.
Don't
It says on it, right? You
don't
can't make
technically
slime with
smell
it,
good.
right? And it smells like slime.
Yeah, it's because Elmer's is slime glue in it.
Yeah, but it tells you on the bottle that you
Don't
can't
make
use
and I
it,
see
the
it.
slime.
Don't use it. Don't know what it is, but don't use it.
It's
Not worth.
sniffy.
It's not.
It's
Looks
fish
like-
sauce.
Is that a compote?
Looks like, isn't
What is that?
it? Glue.
He says it's glue.
Looks a bit sus, doesn't it?
A little bit. If one of the moderators could put Impossible Inverts and other creations Facebook page link into the comments, we would be extremely grateful. And if you guys could just click on that and go give him a follow, that would be awesome. All his creations are going to be up on there. If you want anything, any commissions doing, drop him a message. And then if one of you moderators could also put a link to Gavin's YouTube channel, that would also be absolutely epic. They're gorgeous.
So, male and female orchid.
Claire says they're freaking awesome.
there's so many that, like, I've got loads drawn down, like ready to work out how to do. But then I want to do a series of mantis shield. You know, the plate, if you like, that's on the back. So some of the species, like devil's flower, for instance, has a really, really big, unique shield. So I want to do a set of those. But I was thinking of making them out of copper.
That'd be cool.
That's what I thought.
So do you have devil flower? Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. Mitch does have devil flowers, but none actually available. I think Michael had them before, though, didn't he?
Mine is
Mine-
epic now.
Nice.
Mine is horrible.
Scott in chat got a new grandson born last night, Roman Scott Baker.
Nice.
Look at that. Next generation of invert keepers.
Roaches. That's what I'm usually looking for. Roaches.
I think I put Lewis has dropped the channel and the group.
I've just sent Scott. I think all the likes are coming on the Impossible Inverts page, not the Impossible Inverts and Creations.
Just shut both of them.
Hold on.
Just in case. You're getting approvals on the Impossible Inverts.
Lewis has put your Facebook group in and your YouTube channel. I've just dropped into chat your Facebook page. Hit Gavin up with follows and likes and subscriptions on all of those. You will not be disappointed. Like I said, Gavin is literally the biggest hidden gem that this hobby's got, and one of the biggest hearts in this hobby as well as.
Do you want to see my mantis? It's pretty.
Yeah.
Let me get her.
Just sub to Gav's YouTube, 101 now, Gav.
101. That's amazing. We're on, I think, like,
You should be on.
we're on 94, I think, earlier.
Thank you, Lewis. That is awesome. That is awesome. This guy deserves to be on 10,000. Definitely deserves to be in front of the likes of myself when it comes to subscribers.
No.
Not only has Gavin got the same knowledge as me, but then also he's got these creations that he makes, which is just like, wow, beautiful. What's the common name for that, really?
that you've got there?
Devil flower. He likes to run around sometimes. But he doesn't want to play with me.
They're one of those mantis that you really have to see them in person to.
Yeah, this one's like, this is not fully grown yet. That's a shield at the back. And then that's the face. But I like when she opens her arms because then she'll have patterns.
It's so big as well, their arms.
Yeah, she's huge.
Yeah, Michael. I think Michael had him.
Okay.
It'd be nice to see him at some of the shows as well, Gavin.
Show them your pretty arms, Lucy.
I think it's that travel modern up for Michael, isn't it?
From Northern Ireland.
Can you see a little antenna? It's so cute.
Yeah.
He's another lovely guy.
I ordered some mantis from him. They're awesome. I got some Rhombodira Kirribi, and the colour variations with them is just, they're so stunning. But,
He says, I did have devils, but not for the last couple of months.
So there's a devil flower head.
Oh, cute.
That's cool.
Mine have little curly antenna.
Yeah, Michael, we
Yeah,
need to
This is a
close
male head.
from Ireland to some of the shows.
You nosy though, aren't you? Yes, you are. Somebody told me they were shy, but mine's definitely not shy. Mine likes to interact.
I think with all inverts, they've all got people will tell you all sorts of stuff that they do and they don't do, and then when you get one, you think, hold on, it's not doing any of that; it's doing this. I reckon they've got their own personalities.
Yeah, a lot do. I got my first jumping spider on Sunday as well.
Ooh,
Yeah. And it won't be the last.
see, Tara keeps going on about jumpers. She's had jumpers before, and she keeps mentioning jumpers to me, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, I'm going to have to at one point get them again.
The next one's spaceship. Jeez. She just there. She's in bed. But there, I've put a short on, I think I did, on YouTube, and I think I did a reel as well. Might have been a TikTok on one of them.
TikTok
Yeah.
does work. I've been that close to just to literally just stop him on TikTok, because I go through TikTok and it's just like, what the?
Yeah. I get that.
It's difficult because it's supposed to go off your likes, isn't it? What you like is what it's supposed to show you. But
And it's like, what must I have liked for that to come up on my feed?
Yeah. When I first started, it was all like I like watching the making stuff and factories and stuff like that. It was all that, and now it's all other stuff, and I'm like, what the?
These guys I think it was in like Pakistan, and they'll buy like old JCBs so they can reuse the steel that's on them. And you watch them like making like new parts for other vehicles and like other machinery, almost literally by hand. And it's like, wow, I love watching those ones. But then you do end up with loads of weird, random stuff as well.
It's just like the stuff that they do, which is complete bullshit, which doesn't work. Like, oh, I'm gonna rub salt onto a window because it repairs the crack. Oh look, it's repaired. It worked. You think, what the fuck?
That were like turning raisins back into grapes with the pump.
Michael says, "Thank you, Gavin."
It's all right.
That is Mantis, and I.
Yeah. Yeah, my Mantis is still going strong. I think most of them are sub-adult now, so they're not far off.
What did you get?
I got 5 Lombardera Kirriby and 5 Myomantis Caffra, which are the little green ones, but sometimes the brown as well. I've got I lost one of them early on, but I've got 4 of them, and 3 of them are brown, and then one's green.
If you order from him next time, put Scott's Inverts in, get 15% off.
Will do.
Wow. He said he was going to come, but the boat shot up from £100 to 380 just to come from Northern Ireland to Wales.
That's insane.
That's like a 10-minute taxi drive.
But it's like there's no other option. You're looking at me gobsmacked.
No, it just. I was just going to say
because it's not like he could just plan a flight.
No,
because
that's what I was going to say. The flights that So when we went to Ireland in 2019, the flights cost like 40 quid each. This time we've just like 1,500 quid for 9 people for the same flights.
Maybe he'd have to like ship all his stock like a few days beforehand to somebody's address and then get a cheap flight over. It's crazy, that.
Then you'd want to be able to sell that stock on the day as well. Then
Yeah.
that is insane. I think I'm going to Northern Ireland January time. Because although I'm not working, I am getting the odd job with removals. But it's not weekly, it's not daily or anything like that. It's just every now and again, which it's not enough. So last time it filled the freezer. Thank God, because the freezer was empty.
That's one of the main things, isn't it? Roof over your head, food to eat.
Yeah.
For the kids to eat.
Well, yeah. We had a very rough time last week. So we were paying a debt collector for some tax arrears that we had, which was like, yeah, sound. Debt collector was really nice. He said, look, I'm not going to mention which debt collecting company it is, but they said, look, if you pay us this much, we will then sort what you owe the council out, and we'll pay your council tax. So we said, okay, brilliant. So we did that. Then we had a year later, we had another debt collector. Oh, we're taking over from your previous one. Just pay us. Okay. So we didn't pay the previous one, carried on paying this guy. The old one then took us to court, didn't tell us we were going to court, messaged us. So Tara phoned them up. You've got to pay this much today, or we're coming round to see his goods at 5 o'clock. We're like, hold on a minute. You don't do it no more. This other company does it. But what had happened was this other company was taken over from the new debts. So while we were paying the old company, they weren't paying the council tax like they agreed to. So we paid.
So you were still in arrears then.
We paid the arrears off with the savings, so now we've got literally no savings. Tara went down to the council and said, like, this is all gone on. What's going on? And they said, have you got the reference numbers for every single payment that you've made to the old debt collecting company? And she went, well, yeah. She says, well, if I can have them, we can get the money back for every single payment that you've made. So we did that, and the money that we paid off without the savings has come off next year's council tax bill instead. To get it back, it would have took about 2 months anyway. So it's fucked us up with the fact that we've now got zero savings, but it's helped us out in the fact that we haven't got to worry about council tax as much as over the next 6 months. Yeah. So with that side of things, we've got a little cushion while I try and get a full-time work or something. But yeah, it's been a very stressful couple of weeks, I tell you. That's what happens. Things are a complete and utter joke. How can it go from £100 to 380 quid? I don't. For the same journey that used to be 100, how can they possibly charge another 280 quid? It can't be an extra £280 worth of fuel per person, can it?
No, I think a lot of it does just come down to the fuel costs. But there's probably, with like airlines, there's a lot of other hidden charges that they probably have to pay to cover what their carbon footprint is. So almost like a fine for using, but not an actual fine. I don't know, I'm just...
I'm going to ship a lot over to a friend and then fly over for the BTS, but then you've got the enclosures. You could have a couple of enclosures with your flat pack just as a as a display items. You know what I mean? But yeah, just so people are aware of them. They're making up for the money they lost when we had the lockdowns, mate. Michael, I'll tell you what. I have never seen so many traffic wardens in my life. In the last couple of weeks, I've been hit so many times with parking tickets. Over the road, you get an hour, right? And the traffic wardens have said to me, "Look, you park over the other side of the road. We won't bother you. We're not really interested. We won't come back after an hour and check them." I went, "Okay, wicked. I'll do that." Yeah. Now they've started coming around in a car with a fucking camera, and then they drive back. I was there for 1 hour and 5 minutes, and I got a £50 fine. Bear in mind, if I'd have parked in the bus stop, I would have got a £35 fine. And literally, that car is out every single day, and there's traffic wardens up and down this road every single day now. And the money they must make the council is just thousands per day. I mean, all right, you shouldn't be parking a bus stop, shouldn't be parking on a yellow line, and you should observe the parking. Okay, fair enough. But nobody likes parking wardens, do we? It's just like the council commit the money there, so suddenly they've got boomf. So Coventry Council have increased the parking attendance and the parking cars that they've got now, and they've also put in average speed checks everywhere, which is another one, because it's like, okay, so our road used to be very fast, and they've put the speed check, the average speed cameras in, and it slowed it down. But they put the speed cameras in at the very end of lockdown. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you just want the money. You're not worried about the speed of the traffic, otherwise you would have done it years ago. Let's hope it returns to normal next year.
The state of this country.
The reasons that they're saying that fuels have gone up, right, is because of this whole thing that's happening. It won't end next year, because those sanctions are going to be there for years to come. My thing is, gas has come down in price a little bit. Gas isn't too expensive at the moment. Electric's still sky high, but they reckon Norway have had a lot of rain, which is going to increase their hydro dams. Therefore, electric over the next couple of months is supposed to come down again. But what happens to all the electric that we're making in the fucking UK? We've got power stations in the UK that produce electric. So why the fuck has electric gone up? Oh, wait, we'll blame the war so the government can make some extra cash. That's what's fucking happening.
I think a lot of those power stations are either nuclear or coal dependent, aren't they? That's what they tried to play it as.
Yeah, so nuclear we've got in this country, and we've also got coal in this country.
Yeah, but if you're trying to work away from using these resources, then actually...
The only things that we used to ship in bulk for power from Russia was trees. And the trees were mainly for the big mansions, which several years ago, the government did incentives for the massive mansions to have a central heating system put in, which was supposed to be a green energy, because the trees that they used didn't produce as much shit out of the chimney, because they'd already been heated up to a certain point in the pressure container. Therefore, it was getting rid of a lot of the pollution. So it was like a green energy source. And a lot of those trees were sourced from Russia because of the immense amount of space that they've got to grow them, It's got the wind turbines here are keeping the planet from falling out of the sky. Exactly. Then you've got the wind turbines. So it's like, hold on a minute. If electric from Russia is so expensive, right, why isn't the government not doing more offshore wind turbines?
I don't know. No, they're not doing that, definitely.
Because it all comes back to the government wanting dollar.
They're my favourites, but people...
The NHS track and trace app apparently costs 3.3 billion. Where did that money go? Because nobody used the fucking app. And I've been watching quite a lot of stuff on it. Nobody can actually say where that £3.3 billion went
That Hancock might tell you.
because it don't take that much to design and put out an app, does it?
Well, no. I managed to make so much money from apps because the initial layout is next to no. It's only designing a system.
Yeah,
and
that's
we say that like that's really easy. Like we could do it in like a couple of hours. I'll have an HF app up for you.
Well, it's like this. I'm sure there's apps out there for the nurses to clock in and out of work, and for the doctors to clock in and out of work.
Oh, they will do. They'll have an internal app.
So it's the same thing. You've just got to modify an app that's already there just to scan barcodes.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much as simple as that. Scan barcodes and to say whether you've got COVID or not, or been in contact with somebody that's got COVID. That was it. I mean, I think I downloaded it, put my vaccination dates in, got my passport, and then nobody's ever asked to see the passport. Nobody gives a shit about it. And it's almost like COVID don't exist anymore.
I don't think I used it with at Wimbledon, and that's because it was a pilot event.
The consultancy firms the government use and ministers invested in charge rates of around £1,000 a day per person. But even spending a £1 a second, 3.3 billion would take 20 years to go through. It still don't add up.
I don't know like that.
And I watched another thing today that says the new prime minister's wife has got money in Russian-led companies as well.
I thought you were pointing at the lid.
Matt. Oh yeah, Michael, yeah. Is there anything that you've pre-ordered from Brighton, Gavin?
No.
Are you looking at picking anything up?
I don't know. I mean, usually when the little chance that I might get to have a look around, more often than not, I'll head to Roach's stand, see what new Roaches he has. I don't know, if something stands out and I think, ooh, I really like that, then I'll grab it. I was almost like Coventry with Bugs UK stand, because the amount of different crabs that they had available, I was like,
that's where I got these mangrove crabs from, and they had Sicarius as well. But Nick come around and told him, "You're not allowed to have that on your stand. You're not allowed to sell Sicarius." But me and another lad looked at Nick and said, "Well, they've got red fang wandering spiders over there and over there. What's the difference?"
oh yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it?
Mark
They have the
says,
disclaimer anyway to Bugs UK. They ask for proof, don't they, of age?
"Not with me, they didn't."
No, that's because they know who you are.
No, they didn't have a clue. I
They're
think
not.
I look a little bit over 18. I think them and TSS, you've got to prove age with certain species, if I remember right. Mark says, "Do you maintain your own feeder colonies, Gav?"
I do.
Or Philip, yeah.
Basically, any of my colonies, if I'm producing a lot of roaches than their feeders. Unless it's something like my dominoes or question marks, something like them, then they're not feeders.
They take nearly a year to go from nymph to adult, don't they?
Yeah. But I've got a lot of other species that I just use as feeders once I've got like shitloads of them. And then I've got the usual red runners. I've got a small colony of dubias. Hissers.
My dubias, they need more time. I've got a lot of babies. They need a lot of time to grow.
They can be quite slow, can't they, dubias?
Red runners are taking off. They're just not big enough for the bigger tarantulas. So I ordered a shitload of Mario worms from Dubia Paul, which I was shocked because they're all pristine. Do you know what I mean? They're just all perfect. All like, wow.
What did I pick
Night,
up?
Michael. Take care.
Assassin bug mimic roaches. That was the last one I got.
Assassin
Yep,
bug.
you heard right. They look like white spots.
Now I'm very interested. And there we have Ellie in a natural environment.
They're fast.
The camera shy.
They are camera shy and they're very fast. I think it'd be easier for me to take a picture inside the tub.
Yeah, chuck one in a catch cup.
Oh yeah.
Don't talk to me about red runners, says Matt. I know, Matt. Matt had a load of baby red runners, like thousands, and they died off for some reason.
Sometimes I think you have to get like mixed colonies, juice from like a couple of different places, just to put fresh blood in. Is it going to show? Gonna need a bigger bar. Can you just come to it?
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's not the clearest.
They're incredible.
In fact, I can zoom in like that. That's better.
Oh wow!
They even have, on white spots, they have the like checkered pattern that runs around the rim of their abdomen.
Yeah.
These roaches even have that.
Wow. Were they expensive?
25 quid for 10. So compared to something like your emerald roaches, then they're not that expensive, but to me,
Matt,
it's definitely worth it.
all the babies were on their backs, moving as if they were poisoned. Still have about 100, but lost thousands. I was thinking about doing a Dubia setup from Dubia Paul. Matt, Chris is on Wales. He's in the WhatsApp chat. He does Dubia colony deals, and if you're going to Brighton, he can bring a box to Brighton. Hi, Anton. That's all right, mate. Don't worry. If anybody wants to become a channel member and buy me a coffee, click the blue join button. If I don't mention it, 2 of my channel members go mad at me. Although it won't buy me a coffee, I'll put it back into the channel shit. Chris is a man for roaches. Yeah, I might chat to Chris. Forgot he did them. Yeah, Chris has got his dubious breeding like there's no tomorrow. But Chris will also tell you it takes a long time for that for a colony to start breeding well. He'll also tell you exactly how he sets them up and exactly what he uses, so you can recreate that when you get your colony as well, which I think is pretty cool because he sells you a colony and then tells you how to do it. So when your colony is going, you won't be buying any more from him. Do you know what I mean? So he does himself out of custom at the same time. Yes, Lewis.
Sometimes these become feeders as well. Goes out. I absolutely love these. These are machines for eating.
Burrow roaches.
These are peppered roaches.
I've got 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're
need to get some more of those bad boys. Get them going.
They basically eat everything, and they're pretty cool. They're noisy buggers though. And they like flying.
Oh, there's a ghost on this.
I got these last year at Midland Entomology Fair. From the stands that had it was Guy, Tansy, and somebody else that had them. And I was like, ooh, I like the look of them.
They're the burrowing ones. I've got 3 of those.
Oh, the cranifer.
Yes.
Yes, cranifer.
There's some blotched isopods in there as well.
Yeah, I've got
one's just fell on my
colony of them going. They've just started. The babies have just started hatching out.
I think I might have babies in there because I keep got domino roaches in there as well.
Well, you'll tell difference between them because obviously domino roaches, nymphs are just plain black, aren't they?
Oh, I've definitely got those ones then.
Whereas the cranifer, it's kind of like really, really young dubias, where they have that like square patterning on the backs.
Oh yeah, I can't get that up. That's one of the sand spiders. I can't show it without tipping it. But that's keeping a sand spider. It's up here, look. Just see its legs.
Yeah. That's one of them where, like, when people talk about fast spiders, and then you go, yeah, but have you seen how fast the sand spider is?
Mate, I have never seen anything that quick. I'd say that's the Huhani, and then we've got the Sicarius Summathoides. I forgot the genus for the Huhani. I think it's Thou something. I'd have to have a quick look. And that's a sand spider climbing up the side of the enclosure. It can't climb the plastic, but you see the little holes in these?
Yeah.
They use
like rock climbers do on the fake walls.
But they're so... I mean, fast is an understatement. There he is now. Got him out. Look. It's smooth surfaces, smooth plastic, and smooth glass. I'm not going to say they can't climb it, just in case there's a freak one that does it, but they do really struggle, right? And the speed is, like Gavin was saying, it's another level. And I am fascinated by him. Philip Fish he's got several, lucky Barstool, he has got several sand spiders. And if you can get one, I highly suggest you do. They're fascinating creatures. Just can't fathom having something like that in the house. What with the beetles or the sand spider? Because the sand spiders will just literally sit in the sand until you put food in or you disturb them. If you disturb them, they'll come flying out and fly around the enclosure like there is no tomorrow. You see, trapdoor spiders can't climb smooth surfaces, but it's rubbish. Mine does. Yeah, Philip's got 9 sand spiders. Are they all Thumothides, Philip? He's also got Brazilian wandering spider as well, which is stunning.
The official wandering spider, or because the
full-on DWA Brazilian wandering spider with the red on this part of the leg when they put them up. Yeah, stunning. Isn't
that what the red fang is as well? Isn't it? That's a wandering spider, but
yeah, the thing
not the same.
No, I think they're the same order. In fact, I think they're the same infra order as well. Yeah, of course they are. But they're obviously different genuses. The thing with the wandering spider, with the gold fang, the black fang, and the red fang that I keep, they can fucking jump, and they can jump well. The red fang nowhere near as much as the black and the gold. But my God, when the black one did it, luckily it was in a big insect mesh, and I was filming it. And I was like, what the? And it jumped literally off one wall, probably about 10 inches across the enclosure and 6 inches down, like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Which brings me round to the other fact that maybe wandering spiders should be kept in even larger enclosures. What? The red fang, watching that hunt is mind-blowing. No webbing at all in the enclosure. Just a load of leaves, load of oak leaves across the bottom, and I spray it maybe once a week just to keep the plants going, what have you, and give it a drink. And I'll go in and drop a Mario worm like at the front, and it must watch it because as soon as it lands, it just flies out, bump on it within a split second.
I remember like this to Mitch before. Like the eyesight on them must be incredible because, like I've just done the Sally. When you feed them, the feeder doesn't even get a chance to hit the bottom, and it will have leapt from one side of the enclosure, caught it in midair, and then landed on the other side of the enclosure.
Phonotrias are extremely good at jumping. That's the
one.
They do. They're just mind-blowingly fast. Got the mature male David Bowie. H. Bowie. Sorry. Huntsman. That is the strangest spider I've ever kept because it will play dead. And to the point where I've picked it up in my hand and I'm going, "Oh, you're dead. Shit." Put it back down, closed the lid, and thought, "Fuck's sake!" And then it's up at the side of the tank, and I'm like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah,
and
Mitch
it
has
does
got
it regularly. It does it regularly. Literally lies there like it's completely dead. Now I know Jeremy. I think he had a mature male or a mature female. And I know this being a mature male, I should send it off, but it must have had a bad molt because one of its front legs is bent. So that's why it's just staying here. But it's a fascinating species. But when it plays dead, it's literally you think that it looks dead. You touch it, it's dead, and then 2 minutes later, it's off. You think, whoa, what the?
Yeah, in Bugshed we've got a David Bowie. It is. That's I think it's like a sub-adult, and it just the way that it sits and everything, like it's almost like it's in a death curl.
Yeah.
And you think like,
And then,
are you all right? Well, then you spray the enclosure and it don't flinch. And like normally, no matter what species it is, you might get a leg graze or something. Don't you?
Yeah.
You just get nothing from it. And the other day, I was feeding it, and I got no movement out of it. And I'm questioning whether it's all right. And I got close with tongues with feeder, and it just went poof. I nearly dropped the tweezers. I wasn't expecting it to move.
have to move a lot of slip. Oh, it's just down here now. But that it's so fast. All its legs. Dare I take the top off?
Yeah.
I think that's how far I'm willing to take the lid off that tonight. I don't fancy trying to catch that. But if you can see that leg,
Yep.
that's why I don't want to send it. That's the front leg that looks bent, and then the one behind it also looks the same, and it just doesn't carry them properly either, which that's why I don't want to send it off for breeding. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
So don't think
quite a big part of breeding, aren't they? It's all right, dude. I'm gonna get off. And
Yeah, I need to shoot off as well, Scott.
Oh, just looking at the time. Yeah. Next week we've got Uncle Dave on. I think there's a couple of lives on tomorrow night. On a Wednesday. Who does Wednesday, Ellie?
is it Mara?
I don't know. Last week we did one. We did more of a like sales pitch kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jeremy. Jeremy's got live tomorrow.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to flip between two then. Jeremy's got one and Bear's got one. And then Friday is Annie. Mark normally does Saturday, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And then who's doing the Sunday one?
Should be Christine, but I'm not sure. She might not be available.
Spider-Man.
I put a link to her channel in my last video. She's flipping awesome. So hopefully, if you've been watching, you're now going to go over and check out Gavin's Facebook page and go, oh my God, your stuff is absolutely amazing. Also, his YouTube channel and Impossible Inverts Facebook group as well. Why are you going to the Brighton show on Sunday, Nessa says?
I think she's asking you.
Hopefully, it just depends if I don't know because of money. I really don't know.
Hey,
Yeah, depends on fuel money. You done that tonight?
yeah, I finished it.
Remember how that war at the beginning of the stream?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hold on, sorry. There you go, Ellie.
I'm throwing
And
it
that's-
out.
Is that a commission one?
Yeah.
Vanessa says, is Mitch doing a live tomorrow as well?
Not that I know of. Mitch might not do a stream until he's ready for like the pre-fundraiser. So I imagine that'll be towards the back end of this month. But I could be wrong. He could get up tomorrow and decide, you know what, Gav, we're doing a stream. Because that's usually what happens. Or sometimes I'll get like a 5-minute warning.
That's awesome, Ellie. Good job, Ellie. Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Right, we shall end the stream 25 to 12. Gone on later than normal as well. It'd be good. Yeah, if I'm there, I doubt if I'll. Yeah, okay. I doubt if I'll be buying anything. I'll be there just for the social side of it. Before you go, Gav, you have got to flick the birdie. And Ellie, you haven't done it for a while. Hey, no worries, Anton. Don't worry. Don't ever apologise for missing a video or a live. There's a thing called life.
That's it, yeah. Life
Some of the
happens.
lives you're going to watch. Some of the lives you ain't going to get. I'm not going to want to watch. I get that. It's never a problem. Moist Michael says, "Oh yes, everything is moist." I get that. Nobody holds it against you or anything, Anton. Can't believe he missed half this live, fucking wanker. Thank you. Really, really appreciate everybody's feedback in the comments. Again, please subscribe to Gavin. He is the biggest hidden gem in this hobby. Such an amazing man, such creativity, and he needs more support from us to kick him up the ass so he can make more of these amazing creations as well.
Yeah.
Gav says Scott's beard is fake.
Scott's beard is fake. No, it ain't. I felt it. I stroked it.
See, that's 3 people now, Michael. Gavin says it's real. Sai said it's real, and Sophie said it's real. Oh, that was good. Just horsehair and good glue. One of the two.
Something like glue that I showed you earlier.
Tripping over high. Right. Thank you, everybody. If you've been here since the start, my word, you've done well. But thank you so much for joining tonight and being with us. And thank you for popping over and subscribing to Gavin on his YouTube channel and also going over to his Facebook page as well. Really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't, make sure you do so as soon as you finish. As soon as we finish, please, if you haven't, make sure you do pop over and give him a subscribe. He'll be there on Sunday with Mitch. Although Ellie won't be there, her store will be with Leah. So go say hello to Leah and make sure, obviously, you go say hello to Gavin and Mitch. But thank you, everybody, and have an amazing night, whatever you're doing. Good night.
Ta-da.
Bye.